Hello, my yams! Welcome to Infon Wars! Yeah, I am using this set as many times as I can because I absolutely love it. I think it is hilarious! So today I am going to be diving into the scintillating world of VTuber drama. Hello there, Chris Mickey, welcome! So I have not done a drama stream react video yet. This is my very first one. I'm kind of excited, a little bit nervous, because like, you know, I know we're going to be touching on some topics that people definitely have thoughts about, but that's okay. I'm all here for it. So any of you guys who've seen my debut video, you know that I mentioned that one of my likes is drama. Now, to be clear, it's being on the outside looking in. Like, I like to observe the drama with my popcorn bucket from a safe distance. Like, I don't actually want to be a part of that dumpster fire. Hello, Brarda Blarg and Chompette. So yeah, VTuber drama is a particularly stinky dumpster fire, and I have been basically watching it burn since I'd say 2020, here and there. I mean, that was when I first discovered like what VTubers were, and it started with, you know, my duck hubby Mal introducing me to HoloLive, and you know, that's when I first saw Corone. And one of the very first VTuber dramas I ever kind of saw was the one with Hachima and Kiryu Koko. They had like Hachima, I think, showed some kind of a list to show like where their viewers were from or something. It was really, really innocent. And the list showed Taiwan. And so she ended up getting super duper harassed by a lot of Chinese people because, like, you know, they don't see Taiwan as its own country. It's like a whole thing. So, like, Kiryu Koko ended up graduating. And if you don't know, graduating is the term for when a VTuber steps down and they basically, like, you know, resign from the job and they leave the character and all the assets and everything behind with the company. So like HoloLive owns all of the rights and the assets for the character Kiryu Koko, and Kei-san, who is the person that was behind her, had to leave that character behind, and it was really, really sad. And Hachima, she cried about it. She felt very bad, like it was her fault because, you know, she accidentally showed something that had Taiwan on it and didn't expect all this trolling and harassment from Chinese viewers. Then there was another thing. Hololive had a Chinese branch as well at that time, and because of all of this, Hololive decided to completely disband the Chinese branch. That was how bad all of this got. So that was the very first VTuber drama I had ever seen in the corporate VTubing world. And of course, as I learned more about VTubers and, you know, the whole thing, I started to see the drama in the indie VTuber world, and oh my goodness, guys, like seriously. The indie dumpster fire is really crazy. Plus there was the whole V-shoujo thing that happened. You know, an entire VTuber talent agency just went belly up literally overnight. Oh, there was so much. I have been on board watching all of it. Like, I don't know, just in my free time, you know, I put on some YouTube and I see the thumbnails pop up and they're always like, it's over, you know, really dramatic, like clickbaity thumbnails. And so, you know, while I'm working on my art commissions, I click on them and here we go. So I am going to share some of my love of this little VTuber drama stuff with you guys today. And I have a couple of videos that I want to react to. And yeah, so strap in. Also, hello Blaze Spirit and hello Ghost God King. Welcome. I hope you guys enjoy today's show. It's gonna be a wild one, a wild little tour. And again, I'm only just scratching the surface. And hello, Babone! I hope you have an amazing day and a wonderful year this year. Thank you so much! And also, hello to Kaito or Christ, or is it, do you say it as Christ? Yay! Thank you for the follow, God King! So I'm going to queue up our first video. So this one came out fairly recently. This is by a YouTuber called Depressed Nusagi. And also I'm going to share the link to the video in the chat. Please, you know, give this guy a like, subscribe if you enjoy his content. I always want people to support you know, whoever it is that I'm watching and reacting to, because they put a lot of work into their videos, and I don't want to be the kind of VTuber that's just like a content sniper, you know, where I'm just like lazily just watching the video and, you know, not making commentary and stuff like that. When I react, I do pause fairly often because I want to give my own thoughts and I want to, you know, try and really engage with the content that I'm consuming. So, yeah, without further ado, here we go. This is called The Absolute State of VTubing by Depressed Nosagi.
VTubing is ruined. What happened to VTubers? Why is VTubing so negative now? It's a sincere question that you might have asked, especially if you came into the industry back in its early establishment. And it's a question laced with negativity, usually. If you've been around since like 2020, 2019, you might have a fond memory of what it represented. It was a time when it was magical, it was fresh. Everything was glittering with inspiration and creativity. You felt emotions you've never felt before, a space to enjoy and escape from the real world that was breathing down your neck. But now? Well, it just seems like many places are on fire, and it's hard to ignore the screaming in the background.
And now, like I said, it has become a total dumpster fire. And notice, like, at the very beginning of the video, he showed Kiryu Coco. This is Kiryu Coco, who is also known as K-san. So she did reincarnate. She actually, ironically, she joined V Shoujo. And that went down in horrible flames. So now she's completely independent, which, you know, I'm really happy for her. She's super talented and she's fun to watch. And she's also doing like more IRL kind of content, so you get to like see what she really looks like. But she is really, really cool. I've always liked her character. But yeah, that drama with the whole China Taiwan thing and Kiryu Coco graduating Hololive. This is her character that is retired. So just so those of you know who are not in the VTubing sphere, I'm just kind of edumacating ya. All right, here we go. Continuing on.
And it's usually the same cycle. First comes venting, then callouts, then vague posting, then politics, high school level drama, every single week. It's gotten to a point that I'm getting tired of it. Me, a fucking slop-eating, slop-making retard. We have VTubers themselves reminiscing about the good times, pondering what happened. Somewhere in 2020 and 2026, a poison was dropped in the well. Something that cascaded the industry into this messy dumpster fire that, despite its many ups and downs, many people still call home. So,
I'm gonna tell you what made the drama blow up. And I know he's gonna touch on this, but I want to just give my own little hot take here. But like VTubing in its very inception started off so small, and then it became like a corporate thing. So, you know, like Cover Corp created Hololive and Holostars and all those branches, and it was based in Japanese idol culture. So there were guardrails, right? And, you know, if you think about like Hollywood, there also used to be guardrails, like celebrities, when they did press conferences and stuff, they had to like be coached on like what to say and how to act. And you'll notice that like way back in the day, celebrities, they never talked about politics. They didn't share their political views. They didn't give their hot takes. They were just, you know, there was like always like a mystique, like a mystery to Hollywood celebrities. Just like in Japan, there's a mystery to idols. Idol culture in Japan has to be like very prim and proper and polite. Like idol girls, you know, you're not allowed to know anything about their personal life. They're like they're not allowed to have relationships. It's kind of like Japan's a little too crazy, you know. Like you're not allowed to be in a relationship, and if you are, you got to keep it really, really, really secret. Because the whole idea is that everybody is your boyfriend or your girlfriend if you're an idol, you know? Like everybody has to love you because love is the big currency, the big draw that gets people in. And VTubers basically created their own idol culture, which lended itself to anonymity. So it's like you don't have to be, you know, a gorgeous person, you know, like whatever majority considers aesthetically pleasing kind of thing. Let's see, Babone says, the better to cover up the frankly horrendous shit done to them, glances at Hollywood's rotten structure. Oh, yeah. Like now, Hollywood is basically another dumpster fire. It always was, but you see, they kept it under wraps. So, yeah, like VTubing is kind of the same thing. It started out nice, and now it's a dumpster fire. And a lot of that is because of social media, and also just because everybody who becomes popular one way or another, they say stupid stuff on the internet, and it kind of ruins, you know, the idol appearance that they built around themselves. Either they talk about, you know, hot button topics or politics, or they just say something that's kind of insensitive, or they show that they're kind of mean or a bully. You know, there's a lot of stuff that really kind of opens people's eyes that like that person that you idolized and adored and loved watching so much maybe isn't really who you think they are. Same thing with celebrities. And my opinion on all of this is like, if you are a public figure, an entertainer, somebody who is, you know, meant to help people escape a little bit, you know, bring people joy and stuff, you should probably keep your yap shut on, you know, politics, religion, you know, hot button sensitive topics. Like, you know, I work as a freelance artist, and my job as an artist is to serve everybody. I do not care who you are, what walk of life you come from, what you believe in. I don't care about, you know, your race, your sexuality, your politics, whatever, religion, doesn't matter. I am here to draw your characters to the best of my ability and make you something awesome that you're gonna love and enjoy. And as a VTuber, I'm here to entertain and to bring people together and to try and be, you know, funny and creative and just have a great time while I'm here with you guys. And that is where I stand on things. Like, I am not going to be, you know, dropping my hot takes. At least try not to, you know? Because I don't want to alienate people and I don't want to cause division. My goal is to just bring everybody together. Because, like, at the end of the day, no matter where you stand on anything, we're all human beings. And we all have the same basic needs in life. And the need we're fulfilling here is to have camaraderie and friendship and be entertained together. And that is my goal. So, there me are the yapping. How dare you not take a side in the stupid culture war? Yeah, that's a whole other topic, like VTubers and streamers getting attacked for quote unquote fence sitting. Like Emiru got attacked real bad a couple of months back, and I made a couple comments on that on the dumpster fire that is Twitter. But anyway, that's my take on how this happened. Now let's see what depressed Nusagi has to say.
What happened? But before we continue, may I interest you in other videos not meant for the peasants to see? In that case, I'd recommend you join my channel memberships or my Patreon. We have monthly exclusive bangers in there as well as uncensored versions of certain content. All ad-free. And besides, you help me keep creating bangers like these in the long term with your support. So if you have some
I love the
change,
Corona and Hachima
every month or something, consider giving it to me instead. Anyway, that's all.
Give me your money!
Let's go back to the video. Let's make things clear first. Since 2020, where a lot of traditional fans became fans, the scene has always been plagued with a lot of negativity,
oh, it's
drama,
Ame!
tribalistic behavior, especially from Hololive fans and Nijisanji fans. During those days, stuff happened, like Yozoramel harassed in the workspace, Mano Aloe's graduation exploding in Hololive's face, Capcom intentionally targeting Hololive for not getting proper permissions for their games, Hololive fans being skeptical of English, the Keryo Coco Taiwan incident, Hololive China being dissolved and the political shenanigans that came from that, Mori Calliope's Lean incident, Mori Calliope's Connor incident, Mori Calliope being baited by the trolls incident, Mori Calliope's Gura incident. There was a lot of Mori Calliope drama. Heck, even outside Hololive, we had the voice replacement incident of Kizuna Ai, the King Yuzaka Mero versus Yuzuki Rua civil war, Project Melody's VTuber model getting copyright struck by the modeler. I could name a lot more, but most of the drama I'm gonna wager you haven't really heard of, especially the smaller ones.
Man, I didn't even know about some of those. Like, I didn't know Mori Calliope had so much stuff, you know? And some of them he mentioned I didn't know about. The Mano Aloe one, that one was really sad. I saw a video about that. So, like, she was going to become a Hololive VTuber, and she did, like, a test stream on a YouTube channel, and the video was, like, accidentally up before her debut. And she was like so ashamed of it or something, and I guess she got like, I don't know, a lot of harassment over it because people saw this test video before she had a proper debut. So I guess she got harassed a lot or something, or just felt ashamed because having a debut for like Hololive or any corporate VTuber is a really big deal, as you guys know, because that is a VTuber's first introduction and their first impression on, their potential audience. And that's why I put so much work into my debut, because really first impressions mean so much, So she ended up dropping out and not becoming a Hololive VTuber right at the start. Like, she never even got to debut, or if she did debut, she just wasn't there very long. Like, she graduated very quickly, if I recall. Truth be told, I actually really dislike VTuber culture. See, I have so much that I could say about VTuber culture based on, what I understand of it so far. I myself am not, like, I don't consider myself a traditional VTuber, like the idol kind of VTuber, because I do like to talk about a lot of stuff in my real life, and a lot of VTubers, they like play a character, obviously I'm sort of playing a character because I'm a cute little fawn from the Fae realm and stuff, but like there's no way that I can keep who I really am out of this character, because who I am is everything. It's like when I show you guys pictures of my garden or my cat, or I do like the cooking videos. Like, obviously you're gonna see my hands, you're gonna see my kitchen. The last video I did where I was snorkeling in the lake and I got bit by a leech and now I have a horrible infection on my armpits. Like, I'm not gonna hide any of my real life kind of stuff, even though you guys aren't seeing me like on webcam, like my real face and everything. I like to share, my life and the things that I enjoy. Only I'm doing it as a cute little anime girl instead of, being on webcam, because I don't really like looking at my face, I don't do a lot of, like, face webcam stuff. I used to, like, on my art streams, and I honestly just hated it, because I'll be honest, like, I'm overweight in real life. I have been... I struggled with my weight my whole entire life since childhood. So I am very self-conscious about like how I look because of my weight. Like, I don't think, I don't think I'm ugly by any means, but I'm definitely not like a, normal weighted person. So yeah, I like Hololive and, a lot of VTuber agencies and stuff. There's a lot of VTubers out there where they really take playing a character very seriously. Like, they actually do voice acting. You're not even hearing their real voice. Some of them even use voice changers. And when I was first making all of this stuff, I was kind of on the fence about, like, should I use my real voice? Should I use a voice changer? Should I up the pitch of my voice and try to sound cute, like a cute little fawn, because it'll match the look of the character better to talk with like a higher pitched voice? And then I'm like, is there any way I can actually maintain that when I'm yapping for hours on a stream to edit my voice? And, I was like, nah. I mean, maybe I sound like a frumpy old lady who's about to turn 40, but you know what? It's because I am. So I'm just using my real voice. Love it or hate it. Maybe it fits this little character, maybe it doesn't. But you know what? I just want to be myself. So, yeah, this is not a voice changer. This is my real voice. I'm a frumpy old lady about to turn 40 next month. The big 4-0. Oh, you guys should see how many gray hairs I got already. It's kind of crazy. Let me see the chat real quick. I love reading the chat too, by the way, so sorry if this annoys some people, but like I do try to read every message. Luckily I'm not so popular yet that I can't read every message, so hello Whimsy, so much VTuber drama. And then a monster was like, I dislike VTuber culture, and then I like some of the VTubers for sure, but a lot of the surrounding stuff is gross. Especially with like indie VTubers. I've seen some really awful behavior. At least I feel like corporate VTubers, they're kept more on a leash, but the indie VTubers, you know, they need to like learn to, you know, zip the lip sometimes, especially on social media. And Bra de Blarg says, I thought VTubing was used as a mask and character, like a secret identity. Which for some people it absolutely is, and for other people this is just another form of content creation where you don't have to actually be on camera, but you can be on camera as a cute character, so that makes it a lot funner, I think. And then Amonsta says, some people like knowing the person behind the character, some don't. Whimsy says, people like to use the term the VTuber community, but there's too much potential infighting and backstabbing to call it a community. Oh yeah, like I see a lot of VTubers that say the whole concept of there being a VTuber community is a myth. It's not a community, it's just a medium of content creation, and it is as wide and varied as is all of YouTube, because you know, different VTubers do different kinds of content, and they're all very different from each other. You know, it isn't really a cohesive community. It is just a medium for making videos and stuff. And then Chris Mickey says, bunches of different cliques in VTubers. Absolutely. I'm just a supporter of VTubers and looking for people who have similar likes. And then Amonsta says, I have some interest in VTubing myself, but zero interest in the larger culture or quote-unquote community. And you're also almost 40, yay! Oh, Chris Mickey, you're 41? Awesome. Wow, you guys are like around my age, so yeah, we're all the old millennials here. I was born in 1986. So I didn't really know much about the 80s because I was a baby, but I definitely was a 90s kid, and I really do miss the 90s. I am only 19 at heart. Sure you are, Brar de Blarg. Sure you are. Corpo VTubers have agents and handlers. Yes, that is correct. That is why I feel like corporate VTubers are a lot more careful with what they post on social media and things that they say and things that they do. And they tend to be a lot more, I guess, wholesome. Although I don't know what to say about, like, Phase Connect exactly, because, like, you know, Pippa Pipkin and Tenma and Mari _en, like, they're all Phase Connect, and they say and do some pretty wild stuff. I love all three of them, just so you guys know. I think, like, Tenma and Mari are a riot, and Pippa, when she goes off on a tangent, it's pretty great. Like, I'll never forget her Nvidia rant. That was awesome. Let's see, Eldritch Whimsy, I'll be 38 in October. Oh, look at that, you're up there too. Oh man, same age as my brother. I miss the early 2000s, honestly. Yeah, the early 2000s was good too. Until, of course, 9/11 happened, and then I feel like, you know, once we got to, like, 2008 and we got into the, you know, the whole depression, you know, economic downturn and stuff, things just started to get not so great. And, well, here we are. Where we can't afford housing, can barely afford food and gas, and life is extremely difficult, and politics are running out of control, people hate each other, the culture war is like in full swing, and we got a lot of people escaping to VTubers only to be slapped in the face with more of everything I just mentioned. There you go. Oh, gee. Oh, Henya. Oh, I love Henya. I've been watching Henya since before she was Henya, when she was Pikami. She's so, like, she is just peak, cozy, like, just such a good girl. She's such a good girl. Shout out to Henya. She's wonderful. And yeah, even after 9/11, things were good until 2008. Yeah, I feel like 2008 onward is where things just started to kind of go like to poop. But yeah, so now we're all caught up with the chat, and let's continue the video. We only made it like 2 minutes in, and I've already been streaming for a half hour. I'm so sorry I yap so much, but I hope you guys, you know, enjoy my yapping.
Or you might even think that it wasn't that big of a deal. But even despite all this negativity, there was a massive upside. People chose not to focus on the drama too much and the negativity, including myself. Because VTubing was so magical, it incited a lot of very deep and positive emotions. It inspired so much creativity and will that the fact—
Oh no, you have an ad? Does everybody got an ad break right now? For those of you who aren't subscribed, because like I don't mind waiting, you know, so you don't miss anything. Yes, but I'm back. Okay, back. All right. Okay, you didn't miss too much, just like a couple seconds of stuff. So basically, Depressed Nusagi is saying that back then, people just didn't care.
Or you might even think that it wasn't that big of a deal.
About the drama.
But even despite all this negativity, there was a massive upside. People chose not to focus on the drama too much and the negativity, including myself. Because VTubing was so magical, it incited a lot of very deep and positive emotions. It inspired so much creativity and will that the fact that there were a lot of drama was almost brushed under the rug. In this once small bubble, the positivity overpowered the negativity, even while that negativity was happening during its peak. But as the magic of VTubing slowly disappeared, as the freshness faded and the industry expanded, that positive energy also went away. The honeymoon period being over left fans roiling in the negativity that remains. But a few people might not see it that way, especially the newcomers. I hear a lot of opinions about why VTubing became the way that it is, whether or not they prefer it. VTubers focused so much on the streamer aspect rather than the character part. I interpreted this as a lot of newcomers focusing too much on the business rather than the fun, becoming overall a well-oiled machine rather than an entertainer. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have tweets like this from JoeCat saying that VTubing is becoming better because everyone is slowly shedding the idol culture parts of the medium. So which is it? Is VTubing becoming worse or getting better? Obviously, your answer will ultimately depend on factors like when you became interested in VTubing and entered the industry, and who your favorite creators are.
Let's see. I had my gift sub, but also got turbo. Sweet! This thing went mainstream and suddenly got much worse. A tale as old as time. Yeah, I think so. I agree. Like, honestly, it was 2020 when the pandemic hit that VTubing really started to just explode, and now we're at the point where a lot of people say that the VTuber scene is oversaturated, that there's just too many VTubers. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, from my observation, even though there are like a ton of VTubers now, not every single one of them is going to make it. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how nice your avatar looks. It matters how entertaining you are. You know, you could spend so much money and have the most gorgeous looking character and all the cool assets and everything. And then when you get right down to it, to streaming, people could find you boring, or, you know, maybe you just get burnt out, or content creation just isn't for you. You know, I've been streaming for, well, 6 years, but I was even live streaming before that. So I have experience streaming for a very long time. And, you know, I do pretty good yapping with people, and I try to be entertaining and funny. And obviously, I have all of you awesome folks here, and I'm holding your attention, I hope. So, you know, some people got it and some people don't. And I've heard that so many VTubers, like, after they debut, they might make it for like maybe a couple of months, maybe a year, and then they usually just quit and give up. But, you know, I'm here for the long haul, baby. You guys are gonna be stuck with Amayame for a long, long time. I've only been doing this for a couple weeks, and let me tell you guys, I've been having so much fun VTubing. Like, this has been the most fun I've had in ages. Like, I really am excited for every single stream that I do, and like, I have so many ideas for every single video. It's just like oozing out of me. It's like years and years of stuff I've just wanted to do, and I'm finally getting to do it. So it's amazing. Let's see. Berarda Blog says, I should VTube as a peanut. I don't think anyone has done something silly like that yet. Yeah, oh yeah, the burnt peanut. And then there's like that sheriff peanut guy that's like copying him. Oh, that's a whole other thing. And I always have your attention. Yay! The median lifespan for a VTuber is approximately 24 months, 2 years, with over 50% of creators stopping completely within 3 years of their first stream. Career longevity varies significantly based on agency affiliation and audience engagement. Oh, yeah. That's crazy. Wow. I'm actually surprised they made it 2 years. Like, kudos on them. That's a long haul. The peanut drama was funny. Yeah, according to Google. Yeah, I think, like, I feel like a lot of VTubers get caught up in the whole, like, numbers thing, you know? And I know that a lot of getting discovered, like, if you're not part of an agency, it's a lot of luck. And it also is a lot of work, you know, because you have to turn your streams or whatever into content and get it out there so that more people can discover you. I think on average VTubers only make like $2 to $6 per hour, you know, when they're starting out. So it's really hard to build VTubing into like a sustainable career, because it's literally just like any other content creation. Like a YouTuber, you know, you make all these videos and you put them out there. It's going to be a while, if at all, if you get lucky, where you're going to be able to monetize your videos and you're going to make enough money to actually pay your bills with it. And that's why, for me, this VTubing thing I'm doing right here, I'm doing this for fun, and I'm doing it for the long haul, because I have the firm belief that someday this is going to pay off, you know? But right now, my main bread and butter is still doing art commissions and selling my art at Comic-Cons and teaching private art lessons. But I'm, you know, I'm almost at the $50 mark for Twitch to pay me out on Amayame since I started on June 7th. We're like, I think I'm at like $47 right now. So hey, $3 more and Twitch is gonna pay me. Yay! So yeah, if you're getting into this because you're thinking you're gonna make it big and make big bucks, that's not a good reason to do it. You gotta do this because you just love, you know, whatever it is, like whatever content it is that you want to make, and whatever it is you enjoy doing, and you want to hang out and chat and entertain people, do it for that. Don't do it for money, because money ain't gonna be there for a while. And if you're, oh, what is that? Oh my god, thank you. Let's see. The absolute state of VTuber. Oh, hang on. Hang on, let me check. That was so nice. Thank you so much, Amonston TV. Ah, yay! So yeah, let's see. One VTuber I watched said, if you do start VTubing, it should be for fun and not to make money, or you're going to fail with that mindset. Yeah, honestly, like that mindset is it not just for VTubing, but for everything. People can smell a mile away if you're like just doing something for profit and for money. Like for example, you know, I do art commissions for a living, but people know like when they hire me that like I love drawing. I mean, even when I'm not doing commissions, I'm always creating something. Like I've been doing lots of art for Comic-Con, and I also drew like tons of my alien characters. And then, oh, thank you so much, Brar the Blarg, thank you. You guys are so awesome, thank you. But yeah, and for the past year, I've been doing so much work on like Amayame, and I'm always excited, like constantly sharing it in my Discord servers. Like, look at what I'm making, guys. And I would do like goofy little stuff, like I made little music videos and little skits, and I'm just having fun with it. And people can tell like when you're actually having fun versus like if you're just trying to do something for money, you know? And people don't really like if you're disingenuous and you're just like constantly like money, money, money. Like who is that one like streamer guy, DSP, where he's always like begging people for money? Like that is so awful. Like, if you guys don't subscribe to me, I'm gonna be so mad. And then there was that one, like, that Pokimane clip that keeps popping up. Like, if you're a broke boy, just say so. And she's just, like, munching on her overly expensive, yucky chocolate cookies. Yeah, I think DSP is Darkside Phil. Like, I always see, like, video clips of him like begging people for money, and just I see clips of streamers in general just getting mad at people like, oh my god, you only donated $5 to me? Are you poor? You can afford to donate more. Come on, we need to reach my sub goal, you peons. Lick my feet. Give me all your money. Empty your bank accounts. I need pay pigs. I need you to oink for me. Oh, that needs to be clipped. Yeah, some people are into that. It's really weird. But yeah, there really are, Babone. There are streamers out there who actually act that way. They act really like rude and entitled, and you know, they beg people for money, and I think that, you know, that's just gonna turn people off. You're not really there to like nurture and take care of your audience. You're just there to like, you know, shake them down for their money and empty their wallets. Let me scroll up the chat because I missed a few messages. Let's see. Brada Blarg said, would you ever team up with other streamers? Probably not unless you actually know them. I have been kind of making friends with some other Vtubers, so like I wouldn't mind doing like a collab with them for like multiplayer games or something like that. Because I have some games like I want to play Escape the Backrooms, and you know, it would be funner to play with like somebody I know. I don't think I could ever just cold turkey like go up to like another streamer or VTuber and be like, hey, want to collab and play a game? Because I don't roll like that. Like, if I don't know you and you're not my friend, I'm probably not going to approach you, because I'm also like very shy and introverted. And I also really hate voice chatting with people if I don't know them. It makes me really anxious. Like you guys know, like I really hate talking on the phone even with people that I'm like best friends with that I've known for a long time. Like I don't know why. I'm a text person, you know? I like to text people. And Chris says I do fashion designs. That's awesome. Oh, let's see. What kind of rules do you have for your commissions? Is there anything you consider out of bounds? Oh, for my commissions, I pretty much draw anything, although I don't like to draw really like lewd furry stuff if it involves animal parts. I do a lot of commissions of all different kinds and all different characters, and I do draw furries, but like I've had people ask me to draw like, you know, horse peepees and dog peepees, and I just no, I can't. That's where I draw the line. If it's got animal parts, that's a big, big, huge nope-a-dope from me. And also any other, like, you know, what I would consider creepy or borderline like illegal fetishy stuff, like, you know, don't ask me to draw like lolly or shota stuff or guro or vor or, you know, anything involving feces, urine, vomit, you know, bleh. That's pretty much it. That's my line right there, that kind of stuff. Oh, let's see, what else in the chat? Remember when we thought of doing that on Second Life? Oh, yeah. See, I would love to stream Second Life, but the problem is I'm afraid of just random naked avatars spawning in front of us, and then I get, like, banned on Twitch and YouTube. Or, like, you know, we go someplace and all of a sudden some ads res that have inappropriate stuff, because Second Life is, whew, it's full of corn everywhere. Lots of corn. Cornfields abound. Oh, I hate the term pay pigs. Make them pay to be stepped on. Oh my god. I'm glad you aren't a sellout. Thank you. Chompy says, it took me years to get her B tag. That proves her shyness. Yes! Like, I don't even like giving out my WoW battle tag, but like Babone and Chompette, like, you guys have been with me now for like 6 years, and even like Blaze Spirit, like, you guys know, even on Discord, I don't like adding people to my friends list, but like, you guys have earned that, where like now you have my battle tag and now you're on my friends list because I've gotten to know you over the years, and I've gotten to like really trust you guys and like you guys. Like, honestly, you guys are like my little family, you know, from afar. Like, I love you guys. I don't know how else to say it. Like, I'm always happy that you watch my streams and you keep me company, and you know, like Babone role plays with me, and Empy and her sister, like, we go way, way back, you know, role playing buddies. And I got to meet them IRL, and it was awesome. So yeah, it takes a while for me to like warm up and trust people, but once you get into my inner circle, I'm like, you know, we're friends for life. So congratulations to you guys. Let's see, and Babone mentioned for no-go on commissions, hyper proportions. That's another thing. Like, I have had people like want to commission me for like really super obese or muscly characters, and I will draw them, but like within reason. Like, the proportions have to still be feasible. The same goes for drawing characters, like female characters with gigantic Gahangalanga Mazugas. Like, they gotta be like reasonable. Like, I don't want to be drawing like a character where their head and little nubs of hands are popping out and like the whole picture is just giant boobs, you know. Monster says, I might message you on Discord. It's not lewd, but it is political kind of. Sure, yeah, you can just hit me up and like just let me know. And obviously if it's something that you don't want me to post like publicly and you want to keep the art private, I do that too. So let's see. She doesn't like drawing complicated mech stuff because it's a headache. Yeah, that too. I forgot about that. Like drawing like Gundams and Transformers, machinery and like motorcycles especially. That kind of stuff is just such a pain in the butt. I think I only got her battle tag this year. Oh, so battle tag, Christ, is on World of Warcraft, you can like give people this little code with your name so they could like friend you, so they can see when you're online, and like no matter what server you're on or no matter what character you're on, they'll be able to like contact you. It's basically like being in your close friend circle. And I only give out the B tag to people I'm like really close to, because when I play WoW, I'm pretty much solo. I'm a loner, and I don't really like people to know that I'm even playing or online, and I don't want them to see where I am or what character I'm on, or, you know, it's like I'm very private about my gaming, unless I'm streaming it, of course, because it's like my time to just unwind, and I don't really want people like messaging me or being like, hey, do you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do this raid or whatever. It's like, no, I just want to finish my quests, leave me alone. So I only give out my battle tag to, you know, people who I know like respect my boundaries and aren't going to be constantly like, you know, bugging me to do stuff in the game, because I only get to play WoW like once or twice a month, you know, like one day a month. So my time in WoW is precious. And the people I do have on my battle tag tend to like actually help me out, and I really appreciate it. Blaze Spirit says, I'm really glad to be considered a friend. You are awesome. Thank you, Blaze. See, Blaze has been around in my community a long time too, just like Chumpette and Babone. And I'm doing a lot of really cool Digimon commissions for Blaze of original characters. I do have a Discord server for my art-related stuff. I'll actually post a link in here. Now, just so you guys know, for my art stuff, I use my real name. So, like, obviously, you know, I've always been a little worried because, like, you know, as a VTuber, I don't really want to be doxxed or harassed, but, like, my art brand and everything is all under my real name. My signatures on my art is my real name. But this is the server right here. I just linked it. So if you want to join my art server, this is where most of my people are. I have like 277 people in this server that I've cultivated over the past 6 years. And all of my art goes in there, like literally all of it, not safe for work and everything. So to view that kind of stuff, you have to be like a supporter. So if you are subscribed to my channel here, that counts. So just like, if you join the server, let me know and I'll give you the role so you can access all the channels. But yeah, like I stream both, dual streaming every day. Although today I was like laid up in bed because of this infection, so I didn't get to work on my art commission today. I'm a little behind because the leech bit me and it became a little more serious than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, feel free, like if you want to join that server, that is my main server I've been running for the past 6 years, so you guys are in my inner circle now. Let's see here. Been following you since 2021. Wow, that's a long time. But Bone says, I'm also glad to be considered a friend. Thank you. Yeah, I love you guys. You guys are great. And Chumpette says, it's also for other games. I think it's for Blizzard games only. Yeah, I think so. I think the battle tag is for like anything Blizzard related, but I only play WoW. I don't play like Diablo or anything else, so A monster says I quit playing WoW when I got to the gay centaur wedding. I've been playing WoW since Wrath of the Lich King, and I only had a short break in the game, like between Legion and BFA. I was just like really burnt out, so I had a 1 to 2 year break, and then I went back. And now I like I said, I only get to play 1 day a month, and I usually just do the trading posts, and that's it. So I really don't know what's going on in the story or, you know, with the main content of the game, unfortunately. But it is what it is. My livelihood is a lot of World of Warcraft commissions, so I stick with it. BC to Wrath stopped right before Kata, back in BFA. I'm back. Welcome back. Also, thank you guys for joining. So, let me know which ones of you are subscribed to my channel so I could give you the right roles. So, if, like, you know, so you can access everything in my server here. Roles. Because you get the member role to start. I stopped playing WoW for some very personal reasons, but I played from Burning Crusade to Dragonflight. Yeah, like, WoW had a very dark period in its history. Like, it's been a couple of years now, but a lot of, like, pretty awful stuff came out about Blizzard, so... Let's see, I signed up in Discord. I'm subbed to all your channels. Oh, sweet. All right, let me give you supporter role. There you go. There you go. Now you can access all the channels. And of course, if you go into the Not Safe for Work channel, you will be greeted with a very big picture of a blood elf lady. Full spread, so... Hey, what can I say, guys? You know, like, I'll draw anything people want within reason. But I've had people go into that channel be like, "Oh my god, my eyes!" Like, you have been warned. The artwork in that channel is not censored. Anyway, oh god. Let us get back to the video, shall we?
And if you are a creator yourself, what kind of creator you want to be. And as you can surmise from the title, I am leaning towards the former, especially because I am a traditional VTuber fan, who mostly watches VTubers that associate more with the JP adjacent culture rather than the English Twitch streamer culture. And from my thinking, I have created a model that encapsulates why VTubing has become the way that it is.
The 4Ds!
I call it the 4Ds. Difficulty, disillusionment, division, and drama. I think this is the loop that made VTubing the way that it is, and wherever you might have started falling into the piece here, I've noticed that it always happens in this order. So let me break it down. As VTubing expanded, there became more viewers, more money to harvest, but also more competition. There became less things to try and innovate on. Back then, when there were few VTubers, innovation
I can't even look at her without laughing.
And gimmicks were easier to do because the space was emptier. There were still lots of strats and undiscovered niches, but now, a lot of niches has been filled. Standing out has become a lot more difficult. This bred a bit of desperation, a sense of defensiveness or insecurity for a VTuber's own content, design, and even fans. We saw a small glimpse of this behavior from multiple big VTubers when the Cinder incident happened. When VTubing became big, it started to get more difficult to create content that could retain your viewers while also attracting more. This might not be the case for a lot of the bigger already established creators, but it is the case for most of the creators that wanted to climb the ladder, and believe me, there was a lot. Without the support of something like Hololive, how the hell were you supposed to grow your own brand? This was when a lot of new agencies popped up, led by people with mysterious background and probably almost zero business experience, and they promised you a little bit of what Hololive does, but without the glam and pre-established numbers.
Yeah, let me just say, a lot of these little VTuber talent agencies are going belly up. Like VShojo, what a disaster. Like who the people who run these, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get you all the fame and the money and the huge audiences, and then we're gonna be really horrible with how we manage the money, and we're gonna just blow it all on expensive, you know, billboard and subway ads in Japan for some reason. And we're not gonna pay our talents, and we're gonna go to like parties and just like live it up, you know? Millions of dollars just down the drain. Meanwhile, the talents, they're suffering because they're not getting the support they need. And yeah, this is why, by the way, like when I decided to go into VTubing, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be indie all the way. I don't need some kind of like company to boost me up. I'm gonna do this myself from the ground up with my own merit. I'm just gonna be the funny little fawn, and you know, even if I only have like what right now I got like 12 people, I'm thrilled. 12 people is actually awesome. And I love you guys and I'm so happy you're here. Like I don't need to have thousands of people. I don't need to be like, you know, Iron Mouse or Gargura / Saba levels of like huge. You know, I just need a small little community here to know that like I'm not alone. People are watching me and having fun. And that's it. Like, that's all I need. See, Blaze Spirit says, currently playing Power World, Warframe, Soulframe while I wait for the new content for Final Fantasy. Ooh! I have to try Power World one of these days. That game looks like a lot of fun. But yeah, speaking of games, I definitely do want to do more gaming content on here for you guys, because like I'm kind of horrible at video games in general, and I think, you know, just me being bad at games is like fun. Like it's fun to watch, you know. Like the last time I was playing Parasite Eve last Friday, and I kept getting lost in the sewer and coming out at the same spot over and over again, and, you know, getting my butt whooped by those bats. It was so frustrating, but like it was funny, you know, it's fun to watch me suffer. Uma Musume and Puella Magi Madoka Magica Extra coming soon. Final Fantasy XIV and Hololive Dreams. Ooh, I've watched Madoka Magica, the original anime. I haven't seen Uma Musume. I know that's like a horse racing anime kind of show that's really popular. I'll have to check that one out. I have just such a huge list of shows to watch, you know, like a really big backlog, and it's so hard to find the time, you know. I think I spend more time just watching YouTube videos than actually getting to watch TV shows and movies anymore. It is what it is.
VTubers join these agencies, but normally they are short-lived because a lot of them collapse in the most miserable yet spectacular way. It's a miracle if they just died peacefully and, you know, without drama. Whether these incidents happen because the CEO was a sex pest, or the genmates were schizophrenic that it ruins the company from the inside, or, you know, maybe...
I love that, MP, save it for when you're in assisted living, right? I've had that thought that like all those video games and like movies and TV shows that I got piled up, and books as well, all that media that's been piling up on me all these years, when I'm an old lady and I'm retired, that is when I'm gonna be like living it up, guys. I'm gonna be reading all the books, reading all the manga, the graphic novels, watching all the DVDs, the movies, the TV shows, and playing all the video games right up until the day I die. I'm just gonna be like, you know, a lifetime of media, just living it up. Like, I'm old, I don't gotta draw for people anymore. Now I can finally binge watch 10,000 anime that I've been meaning to watch since I was a youngin'. It's finally my time. Let's have a marathon. And then I'll die happy, you know?
Just the simple but innocent CEO is not that good at business. Lots of things could go wrong behind the scenes, and it could genuinely affect how some of these VTubers see the industry. But let's say you're just an indie that didn't need an agency but needed a bit of help.
That's me! I'm an indie, and I don't have an agency. Let's see, Babone says, it doesn't help that everything you want to watch is on a billion different streaming services and channels, and everyone is trying to pivot away from physical media because it costs too much, and we can't get a vicarious thrill when we delete the shows you love from our streaming service and drink your tears of impotent rage. Oh, yes. Gosh, that's a huge, that's a topic for a stream in and of itself. The whole, like, you own nothing and you'll be happy about it. Like, Sony right now is in so much hot water because they want to go away from having actual physical game discs for their consoles and everything. And the whole Stop Killing Games initiative, and also just, like Sony, again, they took away people's like shows and movies and stuff that they paid for because they like lost the license agreement or something. But it's like, that's kind of like stealing from people, If you buy something, you should own it. Like, they shouldn't just be able to take away your movies or TV shows or video games if you made like a digital purchase. Nintendo did the same thing too with their DS store or whatever. Like, people bought games and things on that, and then they just like removed all of it. I think that's terrible. Honestly, there needs to be legislation for this kind of stuff, because I just don't think it's right. You should not be able to steal people's media that they paid for. And also with streaming services, the prices have just kept going up and up. And then they throw in ads, and then they take away your shows. Like, Mal was paying for, I think, like, HBO Max or something, and because it had, like, Scooby-Doo and, like, Boomerang, it had, like, a lot of the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and then they just took them all away, and it's like, well, that's why he wanted to sub to that, because he wanted to see those old shows, and now they're just gone. And that happened to me so many times, too. I would get, like, hooked on a show, and then, boom, it's gone. Like, oh, you wanted to watch Hercules and Xena? Well, too bad. We took it off Netflix again. Or now we moved it on to Hulu or Paramount Plus or Peacock or Disney Plus or whatever. So it's like, oh, have fun getting another subscription to another streaming service just so you can watch that show that you like. It's getting really bad with digital media, honestly. That's why Mal and I, for years now, we have been on a really big kick to buy like DVDs. So we have DVD box sets of like all of our favorite shows, and we buy movies. But it's been harder to get DVDs now too, because like Best Buy used to have a section, and Target used to have a section, and like slowly but surely the box stores have been gutting the DVD section. So now, like, there's times where you can't even find a physical like DVD copy of a show or a movie that you want. Right now, Walmart is like the only place we can go to actually get DVDs. Or we have to order them on Amazon. So it's getting bad, guys, It's getting bad with the media. We need to do something about it. Let's see. Let me see what else here. Empy says, if I look lost, they better be playing anime on the TV they park me in front of and not PBS. And Babone glares angrily at Sony. I definitely feel that. See, Cryptid Glitter says, don't forget the fact that the one streaming service that has all the anime is using AI to make subtitles for the dubs, which has resulted in slurs being in subtitles. Whoa, that's awful. And refuses to listen when people say, hey, these subtitles kind of suck because of the AI. Can you stop? Yeah, that's really awful. Jeez. I heard, like, Crunchyroll's in a lot of trouble because of that. Like, Crunchyroll specifically. See, eventually things are going to go fully digital, but there's going to have to be a new ownership laws to evolve with how media has evolved. You are so right, Blaze. It's like one of those things where, you know, the times are changing, so we have to adjust and we have to get some legislation here, because this is clearly not good when companies can just take away stuff that you bought and just say, hey, you only had a temporary license. You don't own that thing that you bought. Like, Photoshop pulled that crap with me, and guess what? I ditched Photoshop. Now I just use Clip Studio, and so far Clip Studio has been a really good program, so I hope they continue to do right by artists, because Photoshop, Adobe, you guys really screwed up. You lost me as a customer. I ain't going back. Let's see. A Monstar says, I understand the concern about physical discs, but I haven't bought a disc in over a decade. And Babone says, half price books. They have great selection of DVDs. Oh, I don't think we have that here where I am in the Northeast. Half price bookstore, but we have Barnes and Noble, and that's like it. We have Walmart and Barnes and Noble, and Target still has books, so yeah. But yeah, that see, I love going on these tangents, guys. These are such great topics. Like, literally every one of these topics is streaming content. I'm just making a piñata while watching this, and I just forgot I was doing it. Ah, yo, that's so cool, making a piñata. Like, are you doing like paper mache and all that? That's awesome. I love creating stuff. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Perhaps the aid of a third-party company or solo managers was the way to go. But then turns out you end up being scammed or being sex-pested. Seems to be a common occurrence here for some reason. But when agencies and companies weren't enough, some people started to do interesting things.
Hope you're feeling okay, Blaze.
The strat for a lot of Vtubers was to be active on Twitter and engage with fans and nerd stuff before debuting themselves. At first, this was a success, with one of the more notable examples being Artemis of the Blue. But then some of these people started bitching and whining about the lack of success, instead of, you know, actually streaming and putting effort and researching what they want to do. These permanent debut TBA creators would be called V-tweeters. And I mention them because a lot of the negativity and drama that happens in the industry is on Twitter and is caused by V-tweeters, and tweets in general, regardless if they were V-tweeters or not. But some of them actually started grinding, and some would even implement a few less than ethical tactics. At first, it was relatively subtle, like copying design elements, sometimes intentionally to reach off of...
Hello, Midgard, welcome! I love how he mentioned V-tweeters, because, like, when I made my Twitter account for Amayame... By the way, I hate Twitter. I've always, like, I've always hated social media, because... for years, I would, like, post my art on there and hear crickets chirping. Like, I would get absolutely no engagement on anything I ever put out there on the internet, so I always felt like this resentment towards social media. It's like, man, I worked so hard on this art and I put it out there and nobody even clicks the like button or even gives me a comment, you know? So I always felt, like, really snubbed about it. But I made a Twitter for Amayame because I know that, like, since I'm independent and I'm not part of any agency, I had to, like, work on growing a following and kind of getting myself out there. Burger! I had to start getting myself out there anyway. So, like, I made a TikTok, a Twitter, a Reddit, all this stuff, basically, on top of, like, YouTube and everything. And I just try to post, you know, silly things, or I post, you know, pictures of my pets or my gardens, or, like, just updates on, like, when I'm streaming and stuff. And I noticed that there are so many quote-unquote VTubers on Twitter, but they don't stream. And that's when I first realized there was this whole V-tweeter thing. And they're the ones that literally start, like, all the drama on social media, the V-tweeters. that depressed Nosagi just mentioned. Like, literally, these people are so miserable and toxic and terminally online, and all they do is comment on actual VTubers pages, like stupid stuff, and they do create a lot of drama, and they try to hurt people's reputations and get them canceled. Meanwhile, they've never even streamed, and they don't even make any content. You can't even call these people VTubers, because it's like they don't do anything except for tweet. It's so ridiculous. So when he brought up VTweeters, I had to say something about that, because they really are like a nuisance, honestly. These people, they're like the fleas of the VTuber sphere. I just want to like scratch them off, you know? Hi, Billy, welcome. Oh, and oh, Ryan the Reactor, you're here too. Yay! So happy to have you guys. And Chris says, I saw your account once and forgot to subscribe, and it was taking me a month to find your account again. Yeah, and then Midgard says, yeah, forever pre-debut, quote, VTubers, and Billy says, VTweeters are scum. Absolutely. I hate to say it, but they really are just absolutely terrible. From what I've seen. Either that or they're just, like, constantly engagement baiting. Like, they just post stuff that's, you know... I see them posting the same kind of dumb stuff all the time, but they never actually make any content, you know? That's why, to me, they're not real VTubers.
One of the popular ones, sometimes unintentionally. Not to leech, but because they found it to be a cool design gimmick, or because they looked up to the VTuber,
well,
or
those
sometimes
look way
two different
too
minds
similar.
just come up with the same design or gimmick at the same time. But then it started to escalate. People started aggressively collabing with other VTubers, not to foster friendships, but to borrow their platform or organize their own network, having their fingers on a bit of everyone's pie. They would pretend to be fans or supportive, slowly worming their way to that creator's circle, pestering them, not really even considering them as friends, but more so jumping pads just so they can leech off of them a little bit. An entire discussion even appeared on Twitter about this, on whether or not...
Oh, yeah, this is another big topic. Oh, boy. You know, it's funny because I worry that other VTubers that I like, that I do try to, like, engage with, like, I worry that they look at me like I'm one of these leeches. Like, I'm only trying to, you know, comment on your videos and on your posts because, like, I'm trying to, like, leech off of your community and you know, steal some of your popularity. And I'm like, no, I literally just, I like what you make and I just want to comment, you know? So, oh, I do worry about that, though. I get, like, anxious that, you know, if I interact with larger VTubers, they think I'm just doing it because I'm trying to mooch off of their audience or something. But I swear to God, I'm not, you know? Also, Bibble's here. I have a lit candle, so I have to put it out because she just stuck her face very close to it. So I just put the candle out. Hi, Bibble. Hi, Bibble. Hi. Hi. Oh, Bibble. And then Midgard says, what do a VTweeter's life, creative work, and head and heart have in common? They're all empty. Leech tubers. I hear Amayame got one of those on her armpit. A leech tuber. Yeah, oh gosh, guys, I tell ya, your cat sounds like the cats in the Minecraft, which is a positive thing. I showed you my cat. Yes, your cat is so cute. By the way, guys, I do have pets channels, so like if you ever want to share pictures of your pets, you can. Let me keep playing the video. You're probably gonna hear Bibble meowing because she's like kneading on me right now, so.
collabing should purely be a business decision or something you should be able to do with just your friends. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but it does speak to the intentions of many VTubers and how they appear on stream. Because to a fan, how do we tell who are real friends versus who are just collabing to social climb and rub shoulders with bigger content creators? It got to a point that even big creators started complaining about how used they feel when they became victims of this.
Leeches!
But VTuber wannabes weren't the only parasites. There were also Twitch e-girls. Even e-girls and Twitch streamers were using the VTuber tag on Twitch at one point to capitalize off of the rising trend, which gave way for a lot of these e-girls to try their hand on the medium, without really even understanding, appreciating, or participating in the culture. But if that wasn't enough, they'd repost memes, copy-paste and recycle engagement bait strats. And look, I respect it. I like reading through some of these trends and engagement baits myself, but some of them can get a little too weird for comfort. It could be vague posting about something, it could be a rage bait, it could be sympathy bait, or even virtue signaling. Sometimes they'd even join trends that are usually a guaranteed attention magnet like art raffles, or more notoriously, VTuber versus IRL, who started off in—
Oh, one of my favorite trends that really popped off in the VTuber community, like, I mean, this sparked a lot of content and YouTube videos. Somebody posted, like, what is something that you say as a VTuber that gets you like this? And it was a picture of Flynn Rider from Tangled being surrounded by swords. Like if you say something that gets the VTuber community upset or riled up, like what are the different things that really anger and upset people in the VTuber sphere? And that one really, like, it was all over the place on Twitter for like a couple of weeks. I just kept seeing people posting all different takes. Like, one of the big ones is that male VTubers like never succeed because the space is heavily dominated by females. And so many people ran away talking about that one. And there is a lot to say about that, because I know male VTubers and they definitely do struggle. Because, like, a lot of VTubers really are female with male audiences. So it's hard for male VTubers to grow their own audiences. So that is a real thing, you know? It's definitely leans more in the female space. Let's see. Billy says, e-girls don't last long as VTubers. Example, Pinky Chew. Oh, geez. Yeah, I think, like, a lot of that is because, you know, obviously these girls that are in the OnlyFans, Fansly, you know, corn industry here, they're doing it obviously to sell their bodies and make money. They're not VTubing because they love the medium or because they're into anime and cartoons and nerd culture or video games. They're just they're lewd. They call them lewd tubers, and I'm really not into that. Like, if I see lewd tubers like on Twitter, I try and avoid them. Like, I'm kind of a prude a little bit. Like, you know, even if I'll draw not safe for work commissions, most of the stuff I draw is pretty vanilla, and like, I'm just not super into like that stuff, you know? It does nothing for me, so I steer clear of all of that because it just makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm not into gooner stuff, as it were. See, the amount of lewd tubers that are popular is ridiculous, says Whimsy. Yeah, and then Cryptid Glitter says, I followed a VTuber on Twitter years ago that turned into a lewd tuber. Had to unfollow because he was making me uncomfy with his content. See, that to me is so bad, because if you don't start out with the intentions of being a lewd tuber and you're just like a normal VTuber, and then you become a lewd tuber, you're alienating your audience. And also, you might have people in your audience that are underage, you know, God forbid. So, like, inappropriate content, when you fostered an audience that wasn't there for that, that's like a big slap in the face. You should not do that. Like, if you're going to switch content like that, then just make a whole new persona, whole new avatar, whole new brand, separate it from your other stuff, you know? Like, I know with Amayame, like, my last Parasite Eve stream, obviously, I was, like, making jokes, like I was shaking myself around, and you know, my little my jiggle physics here are kind of hilarious. That's about as, like, lewd as I would go, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just being a silly goof, and I would never be like, ah! I would never, like, actually do, you know, gross stuff like that. Like, be inappropriate and try to, like, you know, try to bait guys into, like, giving me their money, you know? Let's see. Billy says, I say if you're a dude and want to be a VTuber, be goofy and silly funny. Don't try the anime e-boy look, go full out funny. Yeah, I feel like it just doesn't work too well for the guy VTubers who want to, like, try and be like, what is that game? Is it Love in Deep Space or whatever? You know, they're trying to be like lewd tubers to lure in the girlies. You're just not going to have a very big pool of an audience, you know, because that's, like, super duper niche. Yeah. Honestly, humor is the best way if you want to get more people to, like, watch you and enjoy your content. Just be goofy, be funny, because humor is universal. Everybody needs a good laugh, right? Oh man. Let's see, I'd go with Inhuman Avatar for myself. There's this one VTuber that has a furry avatar, and she's hilarious. One of these days I'll have to show some of her stuff on stream. There are male VTubers who have concerts. See, now that's cool. I like the VTubers that showcase some kind of talent they have, like, you know, singing, or, you know, there's this one guy who's a race car driver. You know, that's cool to me. I find, you know, unique content, like showing off, you know, what you're good at and what you're passionate about in life. That's awesome. That's what people should really do, I think.
Isn't enough and still in line with the medium, but then they started to integrate actual flesh posting. And the moment this happened, it became a bit of a slippery slope. Because then a lot of indie VTubers started to not just stop on the VTuber versus IRL trend, but started to integrate their bodies and faces as part of their regular content. And I'm not talking about the occasional hand cam or walking streams, I'm talking about IRL. I say this mostly as observation than judgment.
I like
how
that's censored.
Whose regular content, whether that be on their streams or on their tweets, aren't really even of their characters anymore, but rather their bodies. And it eventually falls into a pipeline of doing OnlyFans or fanslay content that don't even use their VTuber models' porn like what many authentic lewd VTubers do. And look, I know there's a lot of weird hate against fanslay using VTubers now, and if the VTuber uses their actual VTuber models or just art of themselves, I think that's fair game. The occasional flesh posting to me is okay, especially cosplay related ones, even if it's not safe for work, especially if you've been upfront about your content, and especially if that was the natural pipeline for your career, like if you were a porn VA, for example, or a VR chat streamer. But I think if your regular content and your NSFW is just your IRL, especially with your face attached, and you market yourself as a VTuber, I would be inclined to think that in large part you're not really a VTuber. Of course, there are exceptions, especially when you're categorized as a live streamer who happens to have a VTuber model like Onigiri and Kayson, but it's hard not to think that way. And the thing is, this trend is not exclusive to Western VTubing, as much as a lot of the whining traditional fans like to believe. Many indie JP VTubers actually exploit this as well. If you use the godforsaken site known as Twitter, you might have seen a lot of these. A lot of VTubers bouncing their tits and showing their full naked bodies, and it gets them lots of views. Goonbait is and always will be a tried and true method for catching attention in the internet. But perhaps on a VTuber's last attempt to find viewers, some take on one of the bigger gambles, breaking what used to be a big taboo in VTubing: political commentary.
Oh, yeah. So, oh my god, dude. Shy Lily, what are you wearing? See, you know what's funny? I didn't know Shy Lily was like a lewd tuber because I didn't really know too much about her. I still don't, I'll be honest, but like I didn't know too much about like lewd VTubers at all. I still don't because again I stay away from that stuff. But it kind of shocks me that people would use this medium to you know, do this kind of stuff. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised because yeah, like what Billy says, you know, corn is a drug. It's very addictive. I feel really sad for guys that have that addiction, you know, because it can be really like really bad and debilitating, and it's very unhealthy, and it messes up you like your dopamine and everything. And if you have a relationship, it does a lot of harm and a lot of damage. You know, it's not good to be as the modern audience would say, gooned out all the time. But I get why, you know, these VTubers are doing this because it's easy money, unfortunately. There's a lot of like lonely, not just guys, but lonely people out there that are looking for connection, and they're just looking for a quick, you know, hit of dopamine. And the saying as it goes is sex sells, unfortunately. And it hit the VTubing medium, and here we are, where we are today, with all these huge booba with the jiggle, 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 jiggle physics. Yeah, it's sad, man. VTubers are friends, not prey. Chibidoki isn't lewd. She's crass, but not lewd. I love Chibidoki. Dude, have you seen her sock puppet video that she put it? Like, she's got some new shorts. She has like a sock puppet VTuber avatar. Chibidoki's hilarious. I like consider myself the dollar store Chibidoki just because I'm chibi, but I am nowhere near as wacky and funny as she is. And like her crass humor is just glorious. I love it. Shout out to Chibidoki. I love you. You're so funny. Oh, she's a gremlin and she owns it. Yeah.
See, traditionally, VTubing was supposed to be non-political. Like, there was nothing about anime e-girls that was supposed to reflect real-world current happenings.
Oh, now we're getting into politics.
For escapism. You don't fucking preach about BLM and fuck ICE whenever you're live or you're tweeting. But
True.
You also don't preach about the fucking loss of Christian values or pearl clutch about sex workers. But as it is when niche nerdy things become mainstream, political people come in from all walks and backgrounds.
And this is what's really creating the drama in the VTubing sphere now. Like, I think sphere, not spear, like a pickle spear. I think the politics and the culture wars is the biggest, like, steaming pile of poop on VTubing. And now there's a lot of VTubers that, now I'll admit I watch like a lot of them, I do, and I keep up on all of this stuff just because like I find a lot of it interesting. But I notice that they drama farm a lot. Like, they're constantly looking for the most unhinged and toxic posts on Twitter, and that is what they make content about. But if you go out into the real world, like if you just walk down the street and just talk to a normal person, they don't have these kind of thoughts and takes on things. Like, all of this political drama in the VTubing sphere is literally from like Reddit and Twitter and Blue Sky, like, and YouTube. But you know, most normal people don't like have these crazy takes, and they don't like go on tirades, and they don't attack people, and they don't try to cancel people, and they're not like constantly enraged by every single thing. This is really like a problem of the terminally online. And there are VTubers who make their living off of reporting on this stuff, whether they're doing it in a biased or unbiased way. A lot of them are biased. They stick to whichever side of the aisle that they're on. You know, and there's plenty of stuff that I agree with, and there's plenty of stuff that I disagree with. But the one thing that I really don't like is the cancel culture mobs and the harassment campaigns and the doxing and the swatting and all of the really like scary kind of toxic stuff that comes out of all of this, because people just get so wrapped up in like whatever it is, their beliefs, you know, their ideologies, that it literally becomes like a civil war. You got like left-wing VTubers and right-wing VTubers just like going at each other. It's so awful. It really is. And I try my best to just stay out of it, you know? Let me see. What's the chat saying here? My favorite is Kirsha, and she can be political, but she is a gamer. Hen Loing? I don't know who Hen Loing is. Oh, wait, no. I thought you were naming like a VTuber. You're saying hello? I just had a derpy moment. Like, Hen Loing? Is that a VTuber? Kirsha had to go into hiding because she was sent death threats. Yeah, Kirsha is one I watch. See, I like Kirsha. I like Smugglana. I do watch. I watch a lot of the VTubers that people consider chuds. You know, like. But I always, again, like, I watch things and take them with, like, a grain of salt, and I like to think for myself, so, like, I agree with them on some stuff, and I disagree with them on some stuff. But I like to, like, keep up with these things, you know? You lurk in the Fox Women streams, come to say hi. Powder has been getting death threats from kids on TikTok. The honorable chatters would love to have you. See, like, because of the way this toxicity is online, if I even just say like what VTubers and streamers I watch, then I will immediately probably be thrown into the chud list. But I'll be real, like I watch Nux sometimes, but he gets a little extreme. I've watched Powder. I feel like she gets a little bit extreme too. Like they say some crazy off the cuff stuff. And again, it's like I agree with some things, I disagree with other things. And I watch Kirsha. I like Kirsha. I don't really hear too many things she says that I don't agree with. Smugglana is definitely one of my tops. Like, she's one of my favorites because she actually doesn't really get political at all. But, you know, I agree with her on a lot of her takes when it comes to, like, the culture war kind of stuff. Leaflet, I like Leaflet, and she also, sometimes she gets a little out there, with, like, yeah, I don't know, her trains of thought, like, confuse me a little bit at times. And again, you know, she'll say some things I don't necessarily agree with. I also like Banana Juju. And I watch Rev Says Des. And again, I know, like, if you even are associated with any of these people, you get put on the chud list, you know? And I, believe it or not, guys, I also have been watching Asmongold for a long, long time, like way before he ever got to talking about politics, like from his World of Warcraft days, because, you know, I'm a WoW player, and I know, like, a lot of people would get angry about that too. And I also like Shoe on Head. I think she is incredibly reasonable. And now this is getting into real, like, IRL, not just VTubers, but like Asmongold, Shoe on Head, Sydney Watson, that Australian YouTuber. I love her, and I also love Amir Odom. He's this gay black guy who is like, he makes incredible YouTube videos. You know, so I do watch like streamers and YouTubers and VTubers that do talk about like cultural and political stuff, because like I find it interesting, you know. But I myself, because I'm an artist and I, like, again, I serve the public, I serve everybody as a whole. And I try not to take sides. Like, I consider myself like a very centrist person. I try to stay neutral and stay out of, politics and stuff because I have friends from both sides. I have friends that are very far left. I have friends that are in the center. I have friends that are far right. I have friends everywhere on the spectrum. I have friends who are trans. I have friends who are gay. I have friends who are, staunch Christians, like evangelists that think that you're going to hell if you're gay. I have friends who are Jewish. I have friends who are Muslim. I have friends that are every race and ethnicity. Like, to me, I try to basically be friends with everybody and not take sides because I try to see our common humanity. And that's a lot of, like, why I taught that Mawate circle thing for my Touching Grass stream, because, one of the things I said in my debut is that I really hate the culture war and I hate this, like, civil war going on and this divide and how people are, like, very cliquey, they're tribal, and they just like automatically hate somebody if they don't think the same way or don't believe the same thing. Like, oh, if you support this, then you're blah blah blah, throwing like slurs and stuff. I think that this culture war divide is like truly the worst poison that people have been drinking. And they're just forgetting, like in the 90s, we all grew up together kind of coexisting with each other, and everybody had differences. They had, political, social, racial, whatever. Everybody had differences, but we were taught, like, love yourself, and also the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. Like, treat people with respect and kindness. And yeah, you should receive respect and kindness in return. And like, don't focus on the things that divide us and make us different, but focus on the things that we share in common. So it's like, you can get a whole bunch of nerdy people together to play like Dungeons and Dragons, and they can, you can have people in that group that are like, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Republican, Democrat, whatever. Nobody cares. You're there to play Dungeons and Dragons and have amazing, fantastical stories and fantasy together, right? That's what matters, that you're a group of friends, that you have common interests, you're into the fun, nerdy stuff, and, like, that's what matters. And this is what I try to preach here today as a VTuber to all of you guys, like the left, the right, you're the gay, the straight, the black, the white. I don't care what you are. But do you like comedy? Do you want to laugh? Good. You're in the right place. Have a seat. Let's have fun. That's why we're here, guys. Oh, let me see. I'm going to read up the chat real quick. Let's see. Da, 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 da. But yeah, we got a lot of Kirsche fans in here. Let's see. The pile grows bigger every day. You watch every VTuber I watch. Yeah. Reminds me of Demenishki allegations about getting banged while streaming, allegedly. Believe it or not, I like Deme. Like, I've watched her before. But the plappening thing, I find that absolutely hilarious. Like, I'm sorry. When I saw all the plap stuff coming out, I don't know what to believe. Some of those clips are really kind of sus, but whatever. You do you, girl. If you want to get plapped while you're streaming, go for it. I don't know. To me, the whole thing is hilarious, honestly. It's embarrassing for her, but it's hilarious. Midgard says, we're all on the spectrum. See, I don't know if I'm on the spectrum. As far as I know, I'm pretty neurotypical, but like almost everybody in my community is on the spectrum. Like the people who commission me, the people who are in this chat, and I'm cool with that. Like you guys are awesome. It's just the niches that I'm into, like nerdy stuff, just attracts a lot of people who are on the spectrum. So welcome. Let's see. Whimsy says, you're naming a lot of people that I watch for non-mainstream information. Yeah. I mean, the noises she was making were difficult to ignore. Yeah. And Billy says, that's why I love conventions. And Chris Mickey, I'm also the center type. Same. Whimsy says, I'm a firm believer that food can break down barriers for everyone. Yes, food and comedy, right? Like, those are the two things that just bring everybody together. And oh yeah, you know, Mel made this joke. You know that song, My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard? Well, he's like, my milkshake brings all the ants to the yard. He makes dumb jokes like that, and just the visual of like, you know, you spill your milkshake and you're just covered in ants. I love that. Midgard says, undiagnosed, but we're pretty sure I've seen this before somewhere. Honestly, guys, I don't think I have autism. Like, I've looked up, like, a lot of the symptoms, but I don't know. Especially with me being pretty introverted and, like, having anxiety over phone calls and, like, how long it takes me to, like, add people to my friends list. And being a loner a lot. I don't know, maybe. Who knows? Plus, I get hyper fixated on gay aliens, so it's very possible. I don't know. I might have a little bit of the tism. How are you with food? Do you have a thing for with textures? I do not. I eat all the food. I have no problems with textures at all. That's why I'm an obesity. Because I love to eat. Oh my god. Oh my god. We only made it 12 and a half minutes into this video and I'm just having so much fun yapping. So I'm gonna continue. I know the topic was VTuber drama and now they're talking about politics. So let's see what else Depressed Nosagi has to say. And yes, Billy, I love my gay aliens.
It's always been a thing on Twitter, but they were largely ignored up until the big 2023, when Pikami and Silvervale were harassed by Twitter slacktivists because they dared to play the wizard game.
Oh, that made me so mad. Like, people in my art server know, like, when this happened, I didn't know Silvervale, but again, I thought that was horrible. But when they went after Pikami, I was fuming. Because, you know, Pikami / you know, Henya the Genius, she is the most wholesome, precious little bean. And for people to be giving her death threats and harassing her because she wanted to play a Harry Potter game, oh, that rubbed me the wrong way. So bad. And, like, you guys who go after people and attack people because they want to consume media that you deem problematic, you're the problem. You are literally ruining things for your own movement by being toxic, hateful, violent, awful people. And you should be ashamed of yourselves. Dio.
But then other communities started to form, and then other communities that were formed to counter them. It simply started with people like Kershaw. Kipa also got roped into it. Bro doesn't want any of this bullshit in the industry, and was never really part of the entire culture war. However, the identity politics crowd deemed her to be right-leaning because she hates that this poison was infesting the industry, and because
oh yeah, Pippa got sucked into it too. See, a lot of VTubers get sucked into this culture war when they don't even mean to be. You know, it's like, you know, Rev always says, if you have an opinion that's even slightly right of Mao Zedong, I love when he says that. I think that's hilarious. If you have an opinion that's even slightly right of Mao Zedong, you become like a alt-right Nazi grifter, blah 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 blah, you know. It's true. Like, these people are so terminally online and unhinged. It's insane.
Disconnect was, loved by 4chan. On the other side of the aisle, there were also multiple people making their declarations, like Uki Violeta of Nijisanji EN's blatant hate for white people, and Finana's
Yep, you're right,
Yourself
Draco.
incident, claiming that the Japanese term trap was transphobic. This happened in 2022, but whatever. A lot of these politically charged
Mao's too left-wing for some people. True proper leftists worship at the altar of Pol Pot. Oh my god, Baboon. It's a good one. Also, look at Kirsha's old model here. Wow. I haven't watched her when she had that model.
incidents slowly but surely gave rise to a new breed of political figures. Now, we have seemingly right-leaning figures like
Powder and Leaflet,
while on the other we have Nyara and
Okay, Nyara, I do not like this person, I'm gonna be honest. Nyara is extremely toxic. And they're like one of the only VTubers that I know of that's like far left. But oh my gosh, awful. The things that they say is absolutely awful. And this is a trans VTuber too. But yeah, this person in general just extremely... No, okay, I'm gonna tell you guys the thing about Nyara. I think it's Nyara, okay? I might be wrong. It might be Anna Valens, who's another person. Take care, Blaze. I might be wrong. It's either Nyara or Anna Valens, but it was one of them. They hooked up an adult toy to themselves where they were playing a video game that had underage kids in it. And I don't remember what the game was, but they wrote like an article. It must have been Anna Valens. And that was also the person who went after Kirsha too. They wrote like a Vice like smear campaign against Kirsha, and then she had to do like a cease and desist. But they wrote an article where they were using like a toy on themselves while playing a game that has minors. So whenever they bump into another player in the game, it activates this toy. And I was like, this is the most heinous, despicable, non-consensual, awful thing. Like, absolutely awful. And these are the people who are, again, they're the ones that are on Twitter and Blue Sky, and they're awful. They're always starting drama. They're always attacking people. They're saying really terrible stuff. And again, I don't care about, like, them being trans or not. Like, I'm not going after them over that. Because people say, oh, if you criticize them, you're transphobic. No, I'm criticizing them for being a bad person. And for attacking people and being vitriolic and creating chaos and drama. And being really unhinged, So, unfortunately, this person here, Nyara, I'm always seeing really awful stuff from them, and that Anna Valens person, awful. And if I'm saying somebody's awful when I'm a pretty chill person, you know that it's gotta be bad.
Anna Valens? ? Sorry, I could not think of any left-leaning, politically charged VTubers that had like a bigger platform. There are also more on Twitter, by the way. We now have lots of political commentators in VTubing who mostly just tweets about it and occasionally does a little bit of streaming, or who doesn't stream at all. I'd explain more of the history about how this happened, but that's worth an entire video. Y'all are gonna have to settle on a super reductive, oversimplified version. All of this combined had VTubing develop its own battleground of political ideologies.
It's
now
a mess.
More than ever, talking about politics is a risky yet effective way to grow your numbers, regardless of right or left. If you are a traditional VTuber fan, it's like a landfill was forming right outside your gated village.
Stinky!
If you go outside the gate, you can definitely fucking smell it. It's gotten to a point that even it has attracted the attention of traditional fans who normally wouldn't participate in these kind of discussions. But in lieu of the happening being outside, some feel compelled to say their piece, especially Nijisanji fans, because some members there are more politically driven than others, though perhaps it was always inevitable that politics was going to invade VTubing. So hey, you know, if you need a quick number or follower boost, say one of the two things. The N-word hard R and preach about Christianity or something, or that white people need to be cold and fuck the patriarchy, or something. But Usagi, I hear you ask, what if I'm not North American and these politics don't apply to me? Tough luck. Pretend to be a Westoid, I guess. Or maybe you'd be racist towards Koreans and the Chinese instead. That usually works sometimes.
You know what's really weird? I've been seeing like a lot of V-tweeters or just like people on X that are not from America that get like really into like the American politics as if it was their own. And I never really understood that. Like, if you look at, like, where they're from, like, they're from, like, the Middle East, or they're from India, or, like, any other country, and it's like, why do you care about, like, the protests that are going on here, and why are you, like, either pro-ICE or anti-ICE? Like, this is an American thing, like, our immigration thing. Like, it has nothing to do with you and your country and how you handle immigrants. But they take sides as if they're like an American. I see this a lot. I don't really know why, you know? Let's see. Necromancer, what is going on with the VTubers and can I eat them? I don't know if you could eat them, but you know. And Babone says probably because American politics has a huge knock-on effects on the rest of the world. It seems like it, yeah. Because the USA is awesome. This is why I stick with the undead, and my only political stance is undead lives matter. Stop killing the undead for loot. We have lives. We also donate a lot of money and buy offshore assets. Also, the Middle East gestures broadly at the 2000s. Yeah, true.
All these strategies, from copying design elements, copying and participating in rampant engagement, sympathy, and rage bait, the leeching, the trend joining, the drama farming, we'll get into that later, and the political grifting, all scream one point. Everyone wants attention.
Ooh, I guess would this stream be considered me drama farming because I'm covering VTuber drama? Oh no, Amayame is engaging in drama farming. Oh, I'm guilty. Slap the cuffs on me and take me to fawn jail.
Attention. That everyone, and I mean everyone, is competing hard for the limited attention and eyes VTubing has. VTubing ultimately has a cap on the numbers of viewers. The biggest VTuber that we have that is yet to be surpassed was Gargura at 4 million subscribers. That is like less than 10 times smaller than the regular community. And it's one that hasn't really moved significantly since 2020. So everyone is a bit desperate. Everyone is struggling to keep their career sustainable and is often willing to do anything to reach the top or maintain their status quo. Even if it means betraying. Even if it means LARPing. Even if it means sacrificing your mental health. And because everyone is having a difficult time, it leads to the next D in our pipeline, disillusionment. For the VTuber side, after the usual agency experience of being abused or sex-pested or even bullied by your own genmates, it might be a little hard to trust people again. But what is even harder is if the people you used to work with, like your genmates, started to actually be successful and climb the ladder. You know some of these people. They are not good people. How the fuck are they being rewarded? Another case, what if the acquaintance or friend that you've trusted so much that you've exposed your heart to ends up betraying you after 1 or 2 disagreements?
Oh, this happens so much in the VTuber community. Now they call it the Google Docky. You know, when somebody like gets mad at another VTuber and then they write up this like whole 1,000-page thing and they drop the Google Docky to expose them for something. Oh man, this is where the drama's at now. Google Docky drops.
Hell, another would be if a third-party company that you hired to deal with your shit ended up scamming you.
Ooh.
Maybe the fans you've lovingly cultivated decides to abandon you after you're no longer the shiniest girl in the block. Or worse, if you do GFE, turn into an auntie after they just try to dox you and discover that you had a partner, or if you did something that they did not like. What does any of this...
That's why, like, the people who do I think GFE stands for girlfriend experience. So those are the VTubers who like play on like lonely guys, I guess, like to pretend that they in IRL they're like single, and they try to like pretend to be like the girlfriend to their audience and stuff. And then as soon as it comes out that in real life they have like a boyfriend or a husband or a partner, oh man, they get so much hate. Oh, like you're definitely walking on a very fine line if you do that kind of content where you're trying to like manipulate people's emotions. Oh man, I would never ever want to go that route. Google Docky, oi oi oi.
It's mean for a girl. Disillusionment. The magic is gone. You see the industry for what it truly is behind the scenes. Different cabals scheming, conniving, and backstabbing their way to the top. A bunch of immature, high school-minded, and emotionally, intellectually stunted people who would dump an expose on your ass for a mistake that could have been talked out in private. A bunch of predatory and exploitative individuals trying to siphon as much money and clout as they can from anyone they can snake out of. This medium that used to inspire so much creative spark in you has begun to develop a negative association, a feeling that looms so heavy it makes you want to give up on this industry. And that is a very, very...
Now see, this, I feel like all of this is really a problem of like the big VTubers and streamers and content creators. Like it's something that happens, and even like if you distill it down to fame in general, like Hollywood and everything, it's like when you become rich and famous and have a humongous audience, that is when everything seems to go wrong, because there's going to be people who are jealous of you and your success, and they're going to want to knock you down a couple of pegs or just, you know, destroy your career altogether just because. And then you're going to have people who are leeching off of you and trying to use you so they could grow their own careers, like, you know, rubbing elbows, hobnobbing, whatever. It's, and, you know, I always was like, how come so many celebrities end up being like alcoholics and drug addicts, and they have like horrific relationships, like they're constantly breaking up with their partners, and it's something about being like famous and wealthy and having like power and influence. It really kind of wrecks people, you know? Like for me, I've always been just a little itty bitty bean, you know? I'm just kind of like a very small little unknown person. Like I have a small little handful of people, you know, that know me, and they like to commission me, and, you know, obviously you guys are here watching my stream. So I'm like lucky that I'm small and I fly under the radar, and I don't have to deal with like all this weird like backstabbing and jealousy and controversy and paparazzi and all that kind of stuff. Like people who are like stalkers and want to invade your privacy because they're so like unhealthily obsessed with you, you know, and then people trying to like use you to climb the ladder, you know. I do worry about all of that stuff, because I'm always like, you know, someday I might become popular as a VTuber, and then I'm gonna have to deal with like, you know, hate raids coming into my chat and people trying to swap me for no reason just because they hate me because like I'm popular. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm always like, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, but I do try to like mentally prepare, because when you're a content creator on the internet, there are gonna be some scary, unhinged weirdos out there. So, yeah, I gotta prepare for it, guys. The scary people. Oh, I gotta go. I'm gonna get supplies. Take care. Thank you for watching. And Billy says, I look at VTubers as purely entertainment, unless I'm chummy with them. And see, like, I see no problem. Like, if you get to be chummy or buddy buddy with like a VTuber or any content creator, like that's cool, you know? As long as it doesn't become the stalkery kind of like, hey, you know, where you're messaging them like 100 times a day and being weird. Like parasocial, that's the word I'm looking for. Like some people get really, really parasocial with like their favorite VTubers and content creators. You know, they want to be all like up in your business all the time. I don't have any people like that, thank God. Like everybody that's in my community, like you guys are all really chill and like, you know, you respect my boundaries. You know, I don't got people DMing me at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Sad thing. And if you are a fan or an audience member, it's a bit simpler. The collapse of multiple agencies you might have been a fan of, the exposés and many mistakes of the creators you've loved, the vague posting, the frequent drama that they get themselves embroiled in or started, the side comments, the questionable decisions, all piled on top of each other. It plants a seed of doubt in your head. And that seed eventually
I like
grows.
the TikToks.
You just stop liking people. You just stop trusting VTubers. Stop trusting VTuber agencies. That once source of boundless joyful energy from your favorite streamer group could get spoiled by one bad Google Docie. Suddenly, you question if your
Cinder,
oshis
that
are
was
the people
something.
you thought they were. You notice how fake a lot of things seem. It is reminiscent of celebrity culture before the internet was a thing. People love actors. People really only hated certain celebrities for superficial reasons like, you know, Justin Bieber gay or his music bad. But when the internet became a thing, they started yapping, and the more they opened their mouth, they revealed how dumb, malicious, or profoundly unlikable they are. In but half a generation, their carefully crafted PR and identities got broken down online because they cannot shut the fuck up. Such a thing is happening in VTubing. Even VTubers that used to be uncritiquable now have critical.
Yeah, see, everything I mentioned about Hollywood culture and like them yapping on social media and like letting people know like their political views and stuff, it just kind of crumbles people's image of them and it divides people, you know? Let's see, Midgard says, I mean, if you want me to, I could do that, DMing you at 5 a.m., but I don't know what to say, so it'd just be ramblings with zero topic coherence. Yeah, and also I would be asleep, so I wouldn't reply anyway.
Because of the things they do or say, and sometimes it's even because of things they don't do or say. Figures.
Oh, yes, that's right. You get in trouble for what you don't do or say. Like, I see so much drama about people who, like, want VTubers to, like, take a side on stuff. Or even streamers. Like, again, this comes back to, like, the Emiru thing. You know, so Emiru is, she's, like, a cosplayer and a streamer, and, you know, she's friends with Asmongold and, I think Tectone and all that. Part of the Texas gang. And people were asking her about, like, what is her stance on ice? And they wanted her to basically say the line, you know, they wanted her to say F ice and, you know, toe the line of the left side. And she is like, look, I am just like a cosplayer, a streamer. I play League of Legends. I play video games. Like, I really don't think you guys, you know, want to get political takes from me. Like, I am not the expert on the current goings on, and that is just not my area. And oh my god, she got so much hate. Like, people were dunking on her because she did not want to give an opinion either way. And honestly, I do the same thing. Like, I do not give my opinions on, like, hot button topics because they would probably get me canceled. Like, I want to be a friend to everybody, so, like, I'm not gonna tell you guys, you know, where I stand on things and what I think about, like, very specific hot button topics because it'll get me in trouble. So, you know what? I'm gonna be that fence sitter and I don't care. Like, If you want to know what I think about things, maybe like if you get to be my super close friend and I can speak to you frankly and openly and know that you're not going to like throw a brick at my head, then sure. Like the people that are closest to me, they know what I think about things and where I stand on things. But in general, like as a VTuber, as a content creator here, it's like you don't need to know what I think about all of these specific political topics. However, since I already listed out a lot of the VTubers and streamers that I watch, you probably have a pretty good idea of what I think about a lot of things. Because the people who hate those content creators would never watch them because they disagree like vehemently with a lot of the stuff they talk about. You know what I mean? So, and Amonstar says they don't want her political take, they want her political obedience. Yes. Yeah, that's what I see. I see a lot of like of people attacking people because they want them to bend the knee and they want them to say the line. You know, and I think that's awful because that strips people of their ability to do critical thinking, you know, and to be able to decide on things for themselves. And I feel like people should do their homework and do their research and not get stuck in a bubble or an echo chamber and actually study history. For the love of God, study history, please. Because so much context of what happens today would be very clear if you understood the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many of the things that people believe today are horrendously wrong because they literally don't bother to know history at all. Oh my god. Just read a book. For the love of God, read a book.
Like Bao, Amalie, Iron Mouse, Shylily, and even fucking Iago. Iago! While they are still beloved in the mainstream, doubts about their character had been planted already, and these doubts are no longer just living in 4chan boards and circles. They are a bit more widespread now, just waiting for their next drama so they can jump
Chris
like
Mickey.
an alligator. And whether you agree or disagree with the criticisms around them, it's clear that the tides are shifting against the medium as a whole. And I think this is just a symptom of the greater point that people are noticing. And when people notice, they do one of two things: step back or double down. Those that aren't unemployed or do actually touch grass prefer to step back. But because these are VTuber fans that are dedicated and parasocial to their favorites, and because these are VTubers that need their platforms to be alive, most industry members opt to actually double down.
Ooh,
thus,
yeah.
the next D happens: division. Every VTuber wants to grow, no matter fucking what. Everyone wants the industry to improve and expand, but everyone sees how to do it differently. Old school traditional VTubers and fans prefer to keep it as it is when they joined, character-driven, dismissive of drama, a space truly and purely for weebs and losers.
Yes.
Usually, these are your Hololive and small agency fans, and VTuber fans who's been around since 2020 or 2021.
Yeah,
Anyone
just
that's adjacent
entertain
to the JV side of
people.
the industry.
Literally, just entertain people. Just be funny and be kind. It's that simple. Like, you don't have to get into divisive social and political stuff and give everybody your 2 cents on everything. You know? Like, just be fun and, you know... Oh, jeez. And also what he was saying about the whole doubling down thing, like the fans of these VTubers, when they get embroiled in drama, oh my god, their fans become like a swarm of angry bees. Like they will defend their oshi to the death. It's like they literally go to war in the comment sections. Oh, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Gotta go very eepy. Good night. And let's see, we're at 20 minutes, so we got 11 more minutes of the video. So I'm gonna try and yap a little less so we actually make it through the video. But you know, I have to give you guys a little bit of my thoughts.
Really, but newer fans want to see it change. Bereft of idol culture, no parasocialism, able to show your faces, sanitized. These people came from the Twitch and Western streamer culture. So these two types of fans see certain acts or cultural aspects differently. For a few examples, traditional fans hate the trend hopping and engagement bait and the Vtuber versus IRL because it's not something that Vtubers of their era would do. It muddies how a Vtuber could be counted and what a Vtuber even means. Whereas newer fans absolutely enjoy it or don't mind. Newer fans hate a lot of the JP-sourced cultures of VTubing such as lolly, idol culture, and even the character bits, whereas traditional fans are absolutely okay with these and even love parts of it. Traditional fans wants to keep real-world affairs and politics out of their anime girls and values professionalism and orderliness, whereas newer fans tend to value the lawlessness and wants to have current affairs follow them into their brand a lot of the time. This is VTubing's very specific brand of politics, and you might even notice that it has a very interesting reflection onto actual real-world politics. My perspective is that old fans were taken in by VTubing's very niche appeal. VTubing had its set culture, similar to any community. Its target demographic were originally people like me, weebs, nerds, and losers. But when VTubing got popular, many opportunistic e-girls as well as predatory businessmen saw a golden opportunity. And when the large influx of these people came, they chose to dismiss many of its cultural aspects and turned it into an aesthetic choice, or a brand new buzzword that they can pitch to investors or something. Some of the new people coming in aren't really even weebs. They're tourists that just saw what looks to be the cool new fresh hip thing, or just wanted to have the feeling of identifying with something. I always mourn the death of a culture that were made by nerds and losers, because when said cultures became mainstream, a lot of what makes it soulful gets removed for something more normal. The current development of VTubing is just one.
This is what happened to World of Warcraft. Exactly what he just said. When something becomes mainstream and the normies come in, and then, you know, the company starts catering to like everybody instead of focusing on, you know, their original target audience that loved the thing in the first place, it becomes a mess.
One of the mainstream's many victims, in my opinion. But at the same time, it's not like I liked all parts of the traditional culture too. For example, while I don't mind GFE or parasocial relationships and I even think it gets overly demonized, I also think that it's weird some traditional fans hate it when their oshis talk to the opposite sex like a Holostar or Nijisanji member. That some people engage too deeply with it or have deluded themselves into thinking that these VTubers, these girls, are actually single. The tribalistic parts of idol culture is something I don't like. I don't like how certain bad situations are often downplayed because they don't like the negative air of drama, and they perpetuate this forced air of sanitation. And in relation to that, I don't like how hugboxy it feels most of the time. Some of these people actually worship the multi-million-dollar agency and treat these adult women like they're toddlers. Criticism, even constructive, is not welcome. At the same time, something that I agree with the newer fans is self-expression. Being able to talk about problems in the industry is a good thing. Being able to do more with the concept of piloting a virtual character is cool, to a certain extent. For example, I think lewdtubing is fine, but even saying that is going to give me fierce pushback from traditional fans, and at the same time, it isn't enough to count me in as welcome in the newer fans' tribe. But why I am talking—
Good night, Baboon! Thanks for watching! And yeah, that's another topic, like, I've seen the drama and the wars over this too, like the people who support lewdtubers and the people who are against it. Like, that's a whole other can of worms right there. People just fight over every little thing. It's like, I'm in the boat of like, how about we just agree to disagree? Like, you can like what you like and I can like what I like, and you know, if I don't like your thing, like, I don't care. It's none of my business. Go like your thing. It's not me. It's not my thing, you know? Like, I feel that way, you know, it shared something in glamour shots. Oh. Let me see. Hang on. Glamour shots. Oh, that's so cool. Go to Northern, they said. It's not that bad this time of the year, they said. I'm freezing my effing ass off up here. Goddess damn it. Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing, Babone. I hope you sleep well. But yeah, when it comes to like people literally having drama wars on the internet over like fandoms or things that people like or dislike or disagree with, it's so exhausting. I'm just like, can you just like your thing, and if you don't like something, just leave those people alone? Like, clearly that's not your niche, it's not your cup of tea. You don't have to engage with it. And if you don't like, you know, content somebody makes, you can just ignore them, you can block them. You don't have to follow them or watch whatever it is that they're doing. Like, if you don't like lewd tubers, don't watch lewd tubers, okay? It's that easy, you know? That's my whole shtick is like, you do you, boo. Like, I like what I like, you like what you like. We could agree to disagree, we could be peaceful, we could be civil. It's that simple.
Talking about this isn't to broadcast my opinion, it's to explain that my situation is only one of many. And it's a consequence of
I
this
love
big
these
divide.
faces.
Nuances are thrown out of the window to favor agendas and broader, more extreme narratives. You, as a fan or a VTuber, are categorized based off of vibes, based off of the VTubers that you watch, and you are supposed to help the collective push the agenda even if there are things you disagree with on your own tribe. I remember back in the day, there used to be cross-pollination between cultures. Holo and Twitch VTuber fans, for example, were like curious and generally welcoming citizens that wanted to meet with each other and see the sides of their nations.
Oh, I remember that. They like used to have like the corporate VTubers, like the different brands collab with each other. That doesn't happen anymore. So Brar de Blarg, you said you disagree with that. I'm curious, what do you disagree with? And Draco says, love getting a delivery and the box is bent. Sure hope there's nothing fragile in there. Oh no, I hate when they do that. It's like they get your package and they just yeet it onto your doorstep, you know? Like they just don't care. They hate their job. But yeah, I'm interested in what Brar has to say. Very curious. I'm gonna keep playing it, but when your answer pops up, I'll read it. I'm curious, like, what you disagree with.
Used to be a big deal, and an entire event even, when a Hololive member would collab with a VShoujo member or a Nijisanji EN member.
Wait, that you disagree with I'm agreeing with when I disagree about what you agree? What? What? You disagree with what I'm agreeing with when I disagree about what you agree with? Oh god. Cryptid says, Upside Draco, you got your package. I mailed my friend my old RAM for their PC last week and somehow it's in Guam. I have no clue why it's in Guam. Oh man, you know, like I've had to mail people art prints before and they've gotten lost and I've had to like resend the prints. It's such a pain. Such a pain when the mail goes awry.
For example, do we all remember the Romeo and Juliet memes of Kiara and Pomo? But again, as time passed on, the differences grew too big. Incidents such as the big Nijisanji EN Discord leak, the VShoujo Nuxtaku situation, Salengate, the Wizard Game incident, and other politically laced drama created a sense of animosity between each other. And yes, there are still traditional fans that like new VTubers and new VTuber fans that like traditional VTubers, but we rarely see cross-cultural pollination happen anymore. And I think that's a sad thing. Of course, between the traditional and new fans, they have their own sub-factions, right?
Oh
Incidents like the Cinderdoki drew circles in the indie sphere, how that fandom doesn't even know if they should like Filian or not. The Holostars Axin and Sameko Sabadrot also tore a divide in the traditional group. Both are not as unified as you might think. I could draw a map of these groups of people, as well as their factions, but that would require me to go full autist mode and speculate like a motherfucker. Maybe I'll do that in another video or something. As a whole, these frequent clashes, these attempts to gain popularity, the disillusioned people who see the industry for what it is, culminate in the last D. Drama. Aside from
Yay!
political grifting, engagement baiting, copycatting, virtue signaling, aesthetic stealing, and goonerism, there is also drama farming. Now,
Oh, yeah.
obviously, I'm part of this problem.
Me
I've been
too!
making videos about VTubing since late 2021, and I originally didn't start covering drama a lot. I was broadly focused towards commentary and recalling events, but during the big 2024, I pivoted somewhat. And now I stream at least once a week talking about the drama that happens in the industry, and I upload highlights and clips onto my second channel. I have a passion for autistically talking about issues, events, and wider topics about VTubing as a culture and medium. That's what my main channel is for. But me doing drama was a natural step in the pipeline. And the thing is, it's successful. In fact, it is
It
so
works.
fucking successful that sometimes even my highlights channel actually beats my main channel in terms of monthly viewership. But the thing is, I'm not the only one that did this, especially in 2024 and 2025.
There's Kazuhana! So this little guy right here, shout out to you, Kazuhana. He actually just followed me back on Twitter the other day. I have a clip that I want to show you guys of his video real quick, just kind of because I know like we're running out of time, but I was in his video. Aw, thank you. So, like, you know how Fillion, she's a very popular indie VTuber. She's been on a hiatus and she's been having this whole ARG and then this like wall you could paint on, and I participated in the wall. I got my artwork on the wall and then it went to Shibuya onto the big digital billboard. He read my comment out loud on his video and I was so excited. I'm like, oh my god, I made it into one of your videos. Kazuhana is a YouTuber who covers all the VTuber drama that ever happens. Like somehow he's like literally on the stick all the time. And he does it in a very good, like, unbiased way. The word he uses all the time is, that's interesting. Like, he doesn't give his actual, like, thoughts or opinions or any of his, like, slant to things. He just says, that's interesting. Which interesting is the most neutral way of giving a take on something. You know what I mean? And I like that he can report on all this VTuber drama without taking sides. He's literally just telling it as it is. You know, he's explaining what's going on with who. And this is a good way that I keep up with, you know, the VTuber drama just because it's like a silly little hobby of mine, you know? It's interesting. So here's the snippet where I am in his video.
People would be angry, and I was right. People are angry, people are frustrated, and people are, you know, pretty confused as well. I think confused is probably the most common thought among many, because many are confused at, you know, well, what was this for if it wasn't to kind of push the Fillion hiatus on?
Oops, I think I'm at the wrong part. It was at 2:53. Here we go. Sorry about that. It was at the wrong point.
Saying, yay, I see my art, so cool, this was so much fun, a little stressful in the last day. Saying, heck,
that's my comment. So I wrote a comment on the wall because, like, you know, they posted the video of the art, like the Shibuya art, and my art is on the thing in Shibuya. And I wrote a comment. I just said, yay, I see my art, so cool. This was so much fun and stressful on the last day. So he mentioned me in his video. I was very excited about that. But yeah, that's who Kazuhana is, just to let you guys know. Thank you for letting me get... Thank you for letting me be in one of your videos. And also, like, I'm so excited that he followed me back. Like, that makes me so happy. You know, when people that I actually enjoy watching, like, you know, follow me, it's like, woo, I feel special.
In fact, I would like to think I'm one of the slower ones. Kyo and False ID are gone, and some of the drama-hating parts of the industry celebrated that, but the thing is, they left a massive gap in the market. People that were worse or better were eventually going to replace them.
Ooh,
and
Cat in Chat. She got in a lot of
was
trouble.
filled in by creators like Kazuhana and Lydia, fucking even Katliente to a certain extent. And that's only on the YouTube side of things. The drama coverage and discussion on the Twitter side is inarguably 100 times worse. On Twitter,
it is.
It's not just drama and news tubers that talks about news and drama, it's fucking everyone. Everyone has something to say about current event. So in VTubing, whenever something bad happens and if you're on the goddamn site, you're going to know or hear about it one way or another. And the sheer number of people drama peddling makes the negative air around the industry thicker. So much so that 1 week without major drama is actually a godsend. VTuber fans can actually breathe for a bit, and I actually get to watch some streams. Blocking people like me isn't really even enough to stop drama from appearing in your timeline at this point. Again, you will hear about drama one way or another. Your timeline might even get full of it, and it's only a matter of time and topic that you will eventually participate in it as well.
I don't even think I've seen a single solitary week since I made my Twitter account in October. I haven't seen a single week, or not even a week, a day. I haven't seen a single day where there hasn't been some VTuber drama popping up on Twitter. It's crazy. It's literally every day people are finding something to go nuts about. Every day, guys. You don't get a week off of drama. It's every day.
Point of this particular D, the core of it, is that negativity sells. Agenda posts.
Yeah.
Publicly throwing shade at people you don't like but did nothing to you. Creating Google Docies for the most nothing burger issues. Ignoring healthy communication with your peers so you can make a big stink about it. Virtue signaling and vague posting about le bad thing are all meta strats employed by VTubers big and small. Even the ones that you know. Whether you want to admit it or not, a lot of VTubers start drama or exactly know what they're doing by saying or doing something inflammatory, whether for attention or for their own unspoken agenda. All of this compounds. Because people are having a difficult time gaining attention, there's going to be drama.
I'm gonna do it right now, guys. I'm gonna rage bait. I like pineapple on pizza. There. I said it. Drop a Google Docie on me. I think pineapple on pizza's delicious.
Because people are disillusioned, there's going to be drama. Because people are divided, there is going to be drama. When the industry is filled and dominated by high school-minded people, this becomes a toxic and deliberate self-sustaining cycle. I think these are the main reasons why VTubing has become so negative. I'm sure you have something to say that I might have missed, but I think whatever you can think of will roughly fit into one of the 4 Ds. Again, admittingly, I am part of this cycle. But I guarantee you 99% of the creators and fans in this space are all part of the cycle too. Many of the VTubers you like might have also politically grifted or currently is, might have also done bad engagement bait or sympathy or rage baits up till now, might have virtue signaled and still do, might have grandstanded and still do, might have started or peddled drama and still do. We just need to be a bit honest with ourselves. Everyone has sort of a hand in setting precedents that made the industry a tiny bit worse. Worse in this case is subjective, but the discussion of it still breeds that same air of conflict, of negativity. And I think that's why we can't go back to the way it used to be. We were just so optimistic and captured by the magical nature of VTubing, now we don't have that figurative anesthesia anymore. However, even if that's the case, there is still a way to engage in VTubing that might preserve a little bit of that magic if it's still on your person. And it's to uninstall Twitter.
Yes, uninstall Twitter. Get out of social media. Holy cow. Let's see. Chompette loves pineapple on pizza just like me. Yay! And Cryptid Glitter says, try pineapple and ham pizza with jalapenos. That sounds really good. I love all those things. And Empy says, I feel like anyone who enjoys your content are pineapple on pizza people or are in the closet about it. Oh my gosh. Seriously, pineapple goes good on pizza. Like it works, you know?
Seriously, just, uninstall Twitter. 99% of the drama comes from Twitter, okay?
It does.
Or heck, a less effective
And
yet
Reddit.
sort of valid way is to block people. You don't want to hear about drama? Block it. You don't like certain VTubers? Block them and their fans. Yeah. To a certain extent, the happiest remaining VTuber fans are the ones that are ignorant of the bullshit that is going on in Twitter and usually just stick to their own circles. Clip watchers who only watch the occasional VTuber clips or don't give too much of a fuck to delve deep into threads. Casuals who engage with a little bit of everyone. Stream watchers that focus their energy entirely on the VTuber and their group streams and only engage with the peers and community instead of everything else. Unironically, the one effective way that I've noticed the happier parts of the industry do is just to ignore everything else. No engaging with it, just ignoring it. Try doing that in 2026. Focusing all your energy into having fun instead of anything else was unironically the source of positivity in 2020. The rest of the world was negative, especially with the pandemic, but VTubers allowed an outlet to be able to have fun by ignoring the world for a bit. In a sense, just do the same thing that we've all done before, albeit more deliberate this time. Despite the flawed nature of VTubing and its people, I still call it my home. There's a reason I keep coming back to it even after my 10th graduation / hiatus. It's a fucked up place, but there's life here. It's still beautiful. There are still sights to behold, people to meet, subcultures and communities to explore, and 2D girls to simp for, obviously. So despite the absolute state of VTubing, I'm gonna stick around. And, you know, I hope some of the people watching this video still do too.
Yay! Thank you, Depressed Nusagi. Again, I'm gonna share the link to that video. Please give him a like. Subscribe to his channel if you find, you know, VTuber drama news interesting. I do. You know, that was an excellent video there. I really enjoy his stuff. This has been so much fun. Let's see, Draco says the Japanese VTubers not realizing he isn't saying run. But yeah, like, honestly, if you want to avoid drama, just get off of the social media. Like, you know, Twitter, and I hear like Blue Sky has a lot of drama, and also Reddit. I hear Reddit is probably like even more toxic than Twitter. But yeah, it's it really is just all this social media stuff swirling around, and I think a lot of it is because people farm it, because drama gets attention. It really does. Like, you know what's funny? I noticed that on Twitter, the only time that I write a comment on something and it actually kind of blows up, like I get like a, you know, 100 likes or something, is when I'm commenting on a topic related to drama. When I just post normal stuff or happy stuff, like I post, you know, a picture of my cat or like my gardens or my mice, or, you know, just something good, you know, good natured kind of posts, I get like crickets chirping. But the minute I post something like even mildly negative, or like a critique about something, or, you know, an opinion about a topic that's kind of like a sort of hot button topic, that's when I get comments and likes. So unfortunately, it is a feedback loop, right? So like, people notice their YouTube channels blow up when they make content about drama. Streamers get more people watching and engaging and chatting when they talk about drama. And people that are on social media get more engagement and comments and likes and follows and dopamine hits because they're talking about drama. And also, it goes way back. If you guys look at, like, even just the news, how often does the news report about, like, you know, random acts of kindness or good stories? Every time you turn on the news, it's like, you know, so-and-so got murdered today. There was another shooting. There was a huge earthquake, a tsunami. Millions of people are dead. I mean, literally every time you turn on the news, it's drama, and it's negativity and just awful stuff. You don't hear about happy stories and good vibes, you know? But I feel like, as my goal here as a VTuber is to break that cycle, because like last stream when I did that, you know, touching grass stream where I was just showing you guys footage of me swimming around in the lake, showing you guys fish and turtles, I'm trying to break that cycle. I'm trying to bring you guys actual positivity and show you the beauty and the goodness in this world, because we need more of that. We really do. We need to get out of this constant loop, this cycle of drama and negativity and toxicity, and get back into remembering the things that unite people. You know, comedy, food, nature, you know, really good, wholesome stuff. That's what we need more of. We need a little less of this, you know, toxicity and this drama and this negativity, even if it is interesting. Everybody can't turn away when there's a train wreck. We gotta look, we gotta hobnob and see what's going on. It is human nature, unfortunately, to focus more on negativity. Literally, psychological studies show that humans focus more on negativity. Like, if you have, say, 10 things in your life that happen to you, 9 of those things in your life are really good and positive, but one of them was negative and bad, you're going to remember that one negative bad thing that happened to you more than you're going to remember all the good stuff, and you're going to dwell on that one negative thing. Because unfortunately, it really just is human psychology, you know? So it's hard, guys. It's hard to break this cycle, you know, to get people more interested in happy, good stuff, and a little, like, pull them back, you know, from the darkness. It's hard to do, but I hope I can do it. Even if it's only with a small handful of people, I wanna pull you guys out of the darkness and bring you into the happy, fun part of life. Oh, okay, let me see. I'm gonna read the chat here, and then that's pretty much gonna wrap up this stream. I actually went an extra hour for you guys tonight. So let's see. Cryptid Glitter says Blue Sky is better than Twitter. The drama is less toxic in my experience. That is good. I don't even have an account on there, so I wouldn't know. And then Chompy says, you had your own drama back in the day. That's enough. Yes, I have. I've had some people in my Discord server that caused quite a stir, and I had to ban them, and it wasn't fun. Draco says to Cryptid, Blue Sky is just an echo chamber of crazy people. Twitter, you'll see scumbaggy things sometimes, but at least it's not an echo chamber. Drama jazz hands. See, I've heard that Blue Sky is pretty much like all left wing, and X is kind of a mixed bag. There's definitely seems to be a lot more right wing on X, but it is a mixed bag. Like, there is a lot of both, and centrists as well. So, but as far as I know, Blue Sky is like the safe haven for left people. I've had a lot of people tell me to make an account on there, and I'm like, nah, I don't really want to. Let's see. Amon says, I deleted X and all other social medias beside this and YouTube. My stress levels dropped significantly. See, that's great. Like, I did delete Twitter, like, a way back, because I hated it. I still do. Like, honestly, I hardly ever even, like, look on there. I literally use Twitter just to post, like, when I'm streaming. And now and again, I'll see, like, what my favorite VTubers are talking about, and I'll, like, write a comment. Like, my latest thing on Twitter, let's see, has been... I wrote, like, a comment underneath a post from, like, Banana Juju, and it's been, like, blowing up. So I'll read what I wrote to you guys. It has 169 likes right now, which is, like, a lot for me engagement wise. But so Banana Juju, let's see if I could show you guys. Hang on, here we go. Okay, so this is the Twitter here. So she wrote, artist be like, Artist opens commissions, refuses to work with you. You look for other alternatives. Artist then gets upset. Artist gets no money. Makes angry call-out post. Promotes commissions open and they stay open. We went full circle. So essentially what this is about is there are a lot of artists on like social media who they judge people based on their political views or their social views or whatever. And it's like, yeah, and this is really specifically relating to like left-wing artists, because I feel like right-wing people aren't like that, you know? It's always the left-wing people who are very, very judgmental and like God forbid, if you are MAGA, if you voted for Trump, if you have any views different from like their views, then they don't want anything to do with you. They block you, they cancel you, they don't want to work with you. So this is really about like left-wing artists who are turning down right-wing clients, essentially. So I wrote a comment. I said, it's insane to be politically/socially biased as a working artist. It's one job where being neutral and serving the public is literally how you survive. I know, because I'm always drawing furries for very lefty LGBT people and big booby ladies for right-wingers. like I said earlier, you know, I am an artist and I serve everybody and I do not judge. Like, I do not care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care about your race, your religion, your creed. You could be a flat earther. I don't care. If you come to me and you want me to draw your World of Warcraft character or, you know, your big booby furry thing or whatever, I will do it. You know why? Because I love making art, number one. I love drawing people's characters, number two. And number three, this is literally how I survive. This is how I pay my rent and my bills every month. So, like, why would I shoot myself in the foot and, like, turn people away, you know? Because I don't like their politics, their beliefs, their ideologies. Like, that is literally so counterproductive and idiotic. It's like if you're working at McDonald's, you know, and somebody comes up to you in the drive-thru and you're like, no, I can't serve you because, like, I don't agree with you or whatever. Like, you know, like somebody's wearing a MAGA hat, right? And they come up through McDonald's drive-thru. Like, you still have to serve them. You have to take their order and give them their food. Like, you are not allowed to discriminate against people. Like, it's same thing goes for, like, you could have somebody who's super duper racist, right? You still have to serve everybody, no matter what their skin color, no matter what their religion. Yeah. Artists, you have to serve everybody. Now, because of this post, it inspired me to write a post, a personal post on my own page here. So this is what I wrote. Let's see, right here. And this only has 10 likes. Well, 9 because I always like my own posts. Because, like, you know, people just don't really see, like, what I post because I'm such a small itty-bitty, like, nobody on X, which I like it that way, just so you know. I wrote, "Dear artists, if you need money to live and rely on commissions, please consider the following. Don't discriminate potential clients due to their race, religion, sexual orientation, or political leanings. They are people that want to exchange money for your services, so you must remain unbiased and neutral. You're a professional, after all. Keep open communication, give a set deadline and progress updates to get feedback, and ensure your client is getting the art they paid for," because, boy, I hear so many stories of artists that literally don't communicate at all and end up giving people art that they didn't even like, which is terrible. Bad business. And I also wrote, Do not take people's money and then go radio silent and make them wait over a year or more. If your queue is that backlogged or you work very slow, close your commissions until you get caught up. I even have friends that were doing this. I was like constantly being like, why are you still taking more commissions, dude? You have a guy who's been waiting over 6 months and you've barely put a dent in his project. Like, stop taking more commissions. And this friend, they had to like refund a lot of people, you know? And you don't want to put yourself in that situation, my artist friends. And then I also said, most people will be fine waiting 1 to 2 months. Any longer and your reputation is on the line. Your reputation for being reliable, having a reasonably fast turnaround, and producing excellent work is critical. This is why I get enough commissions every month to pay my bills for the past 6 years. Because I don't take on more work than I can handle, and I get the work done within a reasonable time frame, and I also keep open communication with everybody, and I show them progress, and I get their feedback, and I make sure that everything I draw is exactly what they want. It's really that simple. I don't ghost people. I don't take the money and run. I do the work, and I do it to the best of my ability. And I give them what they want because I am providing a service that they're paying for. So I have to do a good job. Then I also wrote, make sure your pricing is appropriate for the type of art that you make and competes in your niche market. You should be making minimum wage plus tax at the very least. Track your hours and charge accordingly. You can take a 50-50 split payment or payment up front and in full. If people are choosing AI over you, review the above advice and see if you have any of these issues. If not, congratulations, people will regularly commission you and you'll have income. Yours truly, another artist. Because, yeah, part of this conversation and how this all came about with Banana Juju is there's a lot of artists online that are like, you know, really mad with Leaflet in particular, because Leaflet is creating an AI program that can make up like an animated PNG VTuber avatar thing for people. So a lot of people are super mad about that. That is like one of the big VTuber dramas going on right now, is all the very anti-AI people being like, you're destroying the VTuber industry. Like, the VTuber industry is like really run by artists and riggers and everything, and if people could just generate whatever they want with AI, like, then the artists are losing their jobs. But the point I'm making here, because a lot of people were saying, well, I understand that, but a lot of artists, they take way too long, they don't communicate, they don't deliver what I want. Like, I had a friend the other day who's a VTuber who told me he paid like $1,200 or $1,500 to have a guy rig his VTuber avatar, and the guy did a terrible job and took an extremely long time to do it. So he had a really bad experience. So yeah, people are going to turn to AI if they have bad experiences with artists who ghost people, who don't communicate, who overprice, and who underdeliver. Like, you have to be a good business person, not just an artist. You know, you have to be good to your clients, and you can't be turning people away because you don't agree with them politically or socially or whatever. You cannot be discriminating people if you want to make a living as an artist. You have to provide a service to everybody. And that is basically the context for all of this and where all of this came from. So it's been a very interesting topic going around. And I also did make a comment on Leaflet as well. Let me see. Because Leaflet posted, let me see where, if I could find it. Here we go. So Leaflet said, The reason people are so militantly anti-AI is because it brutally exposes their lack of impetus. No more excuses. The walls come crashing down. One is forced to face the monster of their own inaction and lack of drive. Which again relates to what Banana Juju said, how you got these artists that are like literally turning people away because they don't agree with them politically and then wondering, how come I have no work? How come I'm not making any money? And then just a lot of artists that are like not willing to put in the hard work, you know? So they're all mad. Like, well, people are turning to AI because you are not providing a good enough service, okay? So I wrote, and of course I added a little video because I gotta be a little, you know, a little troll here. I said, all the more reason I'm super proud I made all of my own stuff. It took me a year of hard work to do it. I didn't spend literally my entire life developing this skill to not push myself hard and create something awesome. I will say, AI better push these flaky artists to do better. I'm still making a full-time living on art commissions because people know I'm reliable and do good work in a reasonable time frame. AI won't replace me because people do like hiring real artists if they're good to work with. And it's that simple. So for all these people screeching that like AI is ruining everything and then artists are not going to get hired, no, artists will get hired if they're reliable, if they're good, if they don't turn people away because they're discriminating against them. If you're a real deal artist and you put in the hard work, you're not going to have to worry about being replaced by AI. I haven't been replaced by AI yet. So I hope that I can, you know, bring a little hope to the other artists out there. Just, you know, follow my little tips. You know, you have to be a good business person. You have to be good at dealing with the public. You have to be excellent at communication skills and, you know, giving people updates. There's a lot that goes into taking commissions. You can't just take people's money, ghost them for a year, and then give them some crap they didn't ask for. Because obviously they're going to turn to AI if they're going to have bad experiences like that and get ripped off by flaky artists. So I'm going to read the comments here real quick. Let's see, Brarda Blarg. You now have a service, my big animal Pingus Dongus drawing. Kirsha commissioned art, I think, 2 years ago. The artist vanished. Yep. Leaflet released the program Tuesday. I personally think her program looks really cool, and I mean, it's a great, like, entryway for people. And you know, like, a lot of people, they might start with AI, but then they will eventually, when they have the ability to, commission a real artist, you know? See, good artists will always have work. There are way too many internet artists, quote unquote. Exactly. 3 minutes of ads. Oh dear. Sorry about that. I tried to set it to have like fewer ads, but unfortunately they're like longer. So sorry about that. That's, you know, it's how I make money. Not much money, a few cents, but you know, it adds up. Multiple artists, one from 2020. Whoa, really? Kirsha commissioned multiple artists? They wonder why people turn to alternatives. Yeah, so, you know, I hear so many stories about, again, really flaky, even somewhat scammy, like unreliable artists, and then people, they just get a bad taste in their mouth and they start to not trust artists as a whole. And it's unfortunate that this happens. But yeah, there's a lot of artists too that take people's money. And also, guys, if you give an artist your money and they don't provide work for you within 6 months, you can no longer do a PayPal chargeback. So they can effectively just steal your money and never give you the art, and you have no recourse. Especially now, if you pay them through PayPal Family and Friends because they're trying to skirt around, you know, paying taxes and PayPal fees, that's like a huge red flag. If you commission an artist, do not do the friends and family thing, because then you can't charge back at all either. Yep. See, Chompette, you've had experiences with that. I hear these stories all the time. They're so common. And unfortunately, this even happens with artists who were really good, really popular, well-known artists. They even got to the point where they got in over their heads, where they took on way too many commissions, and then they started flaking out and like basically scamming people out of their money, whether they meant to or not. And that's why I tell people, like, if you're taking commissions, do not bite off more than you can chew, you know? If you're slow at drawing, then like don't take on, 20 projects that's going to take you like 2 years to finish, because you shouldn't be holding on to somebody's money and not delivering the art to them over like 2 years. That's crazy. You're basically robbing them with the promise that someday you're going to get to their project. Like, nobody does that. That's terrible business. So if you ever have an artist that has like a really long queue, just avoid. Let's see. Draco says, the way I see this is similar to like the Industrial Revolution. The people who made furniture lost work because people just bought mass-produced furniture, but they could charge high for handmade pieces. Yep, exactly. Like AI, yeah, like you need a quick character design, you can just type into ChatGPT and you can literally have like AI programs make you thousands and thousands of highly rendered pieces of art, and it costs you nothing. But AI is not good at consistency yet. So like if you need like a character turnaround sheet, or you want to do like a comic, or any kind of illustrated book, or you just want to have illustrations of your character and you want them to be consistent like every single time, AI really does struggle with that. So if you really want correct details and consistency, you gotta go to a real artist. However, AI continues to get better and better. In the beginning, it was horrible at drawing hands. It had a lot of hallucinations and weird mistakes, but a lot of that has been getting fixed. So now it's getting harder and harder to like tell if AI art is AI or not, because there's way less mistakes. So, it gets tough. It's all a very tricky balancing act. And also there's been some really popular artists who have gotten in trouble because they've gotten caught using AI in their process. Like, oh my gosh, what was that one artist's name? Starts with a R. He's like an Asian guy. He was super duper popular. He started like generating AI, and I think it really tanked his career, like his community and everything. But he was like painting over AI, or just posting outright full-on AI images and then like claiming he drew them. And I think, it like if you're gonna use AI in your process, just be transparent about it. It's really bad when you just try to cover it up and lie about it, because you're going to lose people's trust and you're going to damage your reputation. Like for me, I'm always very open that I use AI art for references. Like when my clients give me like 20 different reference pictures, I post them into ChatGPT and I say, hey, can you like make this into one cohesive image? Because it's a lot easier for me to draw from like one image than 20 images. People send me a picture of like, this is the hairdo, this is the outfit, this is the face claim, this is the pose. And, my clip studio is like completely cluttered with all these references. So I just put it in ChatGPT, like, here's what my client wants. Make me one cohesive reference image with all these elements. And it does it. And it saves me so much time because now I have something to look at that I can draw from. And I use in Clip Studio, I use 3D models to help me with like posing and anatomy, and I use the 3D hand models and stuff. And again, like, it speeds up my process, it increases my anatomical accuracy, and I'm very open about it. And I also have a lot of clients that they literally send me AI art references, like, this is what I want my character to look like. I generated this in AI. This is exactly how I want the character to look. And I'm like, fantastic. Well, now I have a visual representation of your character, so I know what they're supposed to look like. I don't have to guess. It's a lot harder to design a character when you don't have any visuals and all you have is a text description of what they want. You know? Like, I don't care if people give me AI art references. Like, more power to them. I see it as like a tool. Like, I am not going to be replaced by it. I am not going to be afraid of it. It's just a tool that helps me, you know, in my process. That's it. And there are people who will literally attack me and try to cancel me for that. Like, how can you possibly be an artist and use AI in any capacity? Because it's destroying the planet. The data centers are ruining people's lives. People are losing their homes. It's tainting the water. It's made the prices of RAM and GPUs skyrocket. There's a lot of bad actors that use AI to rip off people's art or to scam people or this and that. Yes, there is a lot of really bad stuff with AI. There's a lot of bad people, bad actors, bad things that happen. And yes, AI is stolen copyrighted material from every person on Earth who ever created anything and ever uploaded it on the internet. Yes, it is. It is. It's stolen art. But what do you want me to do about it? The cat is out of the freaking bag, okay? Like, it just is what it is. There's no putting the cat back in the bag. So, whatever. I'm going to use AI references that people give me of their characters for art commissions. You can cancel me if you want, but that's just the way it is. Oh, let me see. Let's see. I hope you guys enjoyed my little rant there. Draco says, I'll admit I am concerned that AI art is getting harder to tell if a piece of art is AI or not, especially regarding videos and audio. Yeah, there's so many YouTube videos that are like fully AI, and like a lot of people fall for it, like animal rescue videos. And the AI art is getting really good. The AI music is getting really good. It's so hard now to discern like what's actually man-made and what isn't. And now I have to literally question everything. Like, even if I'm watching a news clip, I'm like, is this real? Is this real? Let's see. Some dude traced over AI, filmed him doing it, but shaded out, I think, green so you couldn't see the green outline. Yep, that's another thing artists do. Well, quote-unquote artists. Like, there are people who will just outright, like, trace AI. But, you know, those people, you know what they were doing before that? They were tracing reference photos off of Pinterest or Google or, like, Shutterstock. They were tracing other people's art. A lot of artists do trace. They always have, and now AI is just a new thing that they can trace. Now, here's my stance on tracing. If you're an actual good artist, like you really know how to draw and you've been at it for a really long time, you can trace stuff just enough to get like the shape language of it, like a pose or something, without tracing like every single line and every single detail, which obviously is going to look horrible, and it's going to be very obvious that you traced, because good artists know how to trace and not have people know that they traced. Bad artists they just trace and you can like pretty much tell. It's like 1-for-1, every line is the same. Like a good artist that's tracing over something because they're using it as a reference to get the shapes, to get the anatomy, to get the proportions of things, they're still going to put in their knowledge and their skill and their effort into drawing like the lines and all the details like really good without actually tracing. So like when I'm tracing over a 3D model in Clip Studio, that's basically what that is. Like I'm still tracing something, but I'm doing it to get the proportions and the anatomy and the shapes, the big stuff down quicker and easier and more accurate. But I still have to put in all the hard work and my knowledge to get like all the details, the fine tuning right. Which just that comes with like literally a lifetime of drawing and taking art classes, you know? So, like, people don't really care, like, if I trace, like, a hand on a 3D model. Like, it is what it is, you know? It speeds up the process, and time is money. When you're an artist, you gotta be able to work fast, you know? So, let's see here. Got caught because of the color wheel. Yeah. The horns, the scales, I did that. AI is just not going away. The data centers will be popping up everywhere. Sadly, this will be a new reality. And it is, yeah. It's like, you know, our governments are pushing really hard for all of this stuff. So it isn't going away, guys. It's like when digital art first came out, you know, like traditional artists hated digital artists. They were like, that is not art, you know, using Photoshop, using a tablet, drawing on a computer, digital painting. Literally, I was there. I'm so old. I was there for the transition. And now there's very few traditional artists left. How many people still paint with oils, with acrylics, with watercolor? Like, every single artist that's doing like anime art, fantasy art, the industry, the video game industry, all of it is digital, okay? Like Magic the Gathering cards, they're not traditional paintings anymore. It's all digital paintings. Blizzard, their splash art, League of Legends, splash art, digital. Like literally digital art is now the industry standard. So all of those traditional artists, what can you do? Times change, technology changes. It's the same thing when photography came to be. Like in the past, if you wanted a portrait of yourself or your family, you had to hire a painter. But guess what? Now there's film photography, and now they can just literally snap a picture of you and develop it on a piece of paper. How do you think that made those painters feel? Right? It just is how it is. When there's innovation and there's technology, things change. And I don't have a crystal ball. I can't say for sure that AI is going to absolutely, definitively replace every job ever, like art, music, writing, cinematography. But it definitely is giving people who normally wouldn't have these skills or abilities to create stuff a tool now to create stuff. So you could either be mad at them or, you know, you could just accept it. Like, hey, more power to you. You've never learned how to draw, and now you can type a prompt and all of a sudden get a really pretty, like, something that resembles a piece of art, and it makes you happy. Then, you know, whatever. You know, good for you. I don't care. I only care about, like, you know, if people still come to me for art, because I have to survive. I gotta pay my bills. When people stop paying me for art because they completely switch over to AI, then, well, you know, that's it. That's just how it goes. I got to find something else to do, I guess, or just make art for me and not worry about making art for money anymore. Maybe there'll be universal basic income. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm not going to stress out about it. You know, I'm just going to take my life one day at a time, and I'm going to keep doing my art commissions and keep VTubing and being creative. Because, like, hey, what else do I have to do while I'm here on this earth? I got to make stuff. And I got to make people smile and laugh. And, you know, that's it. That's it. That's all I do. Oh, let's see. Last comment here. I thought this was not to put shade on tracing, but rather because he did it to prove he didn't use AI or something along those lines, uploaded his own downfall. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. When you get these people who are just they're not transparent and they try to lie and skirt around it. And I get it. Like, a lot of artists do this because the backlash right now for using AI at any capacity is tremendous. If you're on, you know, social media, especially, like if you're on X or Blue Sky or whatever, Instagram, you know, like if people know like you traced over AI or you used AI at all, you get attacked online. Like, it's unfortunate. So now it's like so many artists are using AI, but they're afraid to reveal it, so they're gonna cover it up, they're gonna lie, they're gonna deceive. And the same thing happened for a long time about just artists using references at all in general, because there was like a stigma, and there still is, about like, if you use references, like if you look at anything or you trace anything, or you know, then you're not a real artist. Like, you should just be able to draw everything out of your head, out of your memory. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but you know, for maybe a few people who can do that, great, but the majority of artists, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and you're going to need references to look at to be able to draw something accurately and in proportion. Like, I'd like to see artists just draw like a million different hands in a million different poses without looking at a hand, without looking at their own hand, without looking at a 3D model, without looking at a photo. Every artist on this planet knows that hands are the hardest thing to draw. So don't you tell me that it's cheating if you have to like look at a picture of a hand or trace a 3D model of a hand. Because it is absolutely valid. Every artist does it. Well, this was hilarious and fun. Oh my gosh. But anyway, it's 11:30, guys. This is definitely a really fun stream. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Amayame has to be going to bed. But we talked about a lot of really good, interesting topics today. Thank you guys so much for all your commentary and keeping the chat going. And I want to wish everybody a very good night. Friday, I will be doing my Parasite Eve stream, continuing on day 5. I will be going to the Museum of Natural History and facing terrifying dinosaurs. So hope to see you guys there. It'll be the usual 8 to 10 p.m. EST. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and have a very good night, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye.